3, 2, 1.
Yo, we got your back when you driving to work or driving home. If you on a plane or you at the gym or you home alone, all you gotta do to listen to the shows, turn on your phone. Two Ugly Nerds podcast, tell you what's going on. This is the podcast.
Eric is ugly and would not judge anybody else.
Welcome to the podcast.
When did you learn that you were ugly?
Two Ugly Nerds podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
What's going on, guys? Two Ugly Nerds podcast. I'm Derek, podcast guy. Always joined by Ian, Start Music, audio engineer / shoot producer, the married guy.
Newly
Geronimo,
married, apparently.
Yeah.
Newly and not really.
Oh, man. Yeah, apparently still newly married. Raised freshly.
According to the legal documents.
Right.
That were only just submitted to the proper authorities.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that something? All this time. A whole month. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it was that long ago.
After 60 days, it becomes void. So
I didn't even realize it was a month ago that your wedding. That's crazy.
Yeah, time's going. Time is going.
Wow. We're missing Gerard today, Geronimo, Mr. Nintendo. He's got some personal family stuff going on, so he's handling that today. So it's just us two. We might have some people call in later. I'll see how I feel. We'll get to that. We don't have like a bunch to talk about. I have a topic that I'm supposed to have been done, and I just haven't finished the research for it. I need to get back into it. I've got a couple of quick facts, and some other stuff might pop in my head as we go. So I'll just start with quick facts since you got more for technically speaking, and I think they're a bit deeper. So PlayStation's State of Play, first thing up. They did their second one.
State of Play.
Since the last one we got was in February, I believe. This is the second one. I will say it was better. I think it was better than the other ones just because there were more relevant games in this, I want to say. Like,
I was going to say what games were.
Because in the first one, there was a lot of... The problem with the first one was a lot of VR games, and VR isn't that popular.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people that have it, and I'm sure they might have enjoyed seeing it, but it just wasn't that widespread. So this had more regular games for people to play. So that instantly just made it better because these are games that you'd be like, okay, I can actually pick this up.
So I'm seeing right now. What was this called again?
What?
The first game, Monster Hunter World.
Oh, yeah. So the two big things the two big names that were in this State of Play were Monster Hunter World Icebound, I believe. Yeah. The expansion is called. I've never played Monster Hunter World. I think Gerard played it a little bit. You played it a little bit, didn't you?
Very briefly. I tried to, and I didn't really.
Didn't get into it. Kale got really into it. Yeah. Maybe we'll try to call Kale and see maybe he could tell us about Monster Hunter World. But Monster Hunter World and then the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay. Got
shown again. You know, this is the first time it's been shown in I think it's like 3 years now, 4 years maybe. Is it two or 4 years? It's been a while now. At least it's been at least 2 years since we've seen anything, and this is the first time we've seen something, and it looks cool. But again, I'm not one of those people who's like desperately waiting for it. So yeah, I just don't care that much. And so then for me, and then I don't play Monster Hunter World. So for me, it was all just kind of okay. This is better. Like it's in the right direction, but I wish there was just more.
I wonder if they're doing this in like genre iterations or not. Not be genre, but like for those crowds. So you got the Final Fantasy crowd who would be into like Final Fantasy Capcom crowd would probably be into this one. I don't know what else was shown besides those two.
No, I mean I don't know if that's necessarily what they're doing. I don't think it's exactly what they're doing, but I guess I kind of see what you're saying.
And they're like building up to like the big shit, like maybe the next God of War reveal or whatever.
I mean, maybe. I was listening to a IGN Beyond podcast, and I will say they did make a good point. One guy was like, the first State of Play was 13 minutes, I think they said, or 15 minutes, something like that. So basically, if you add both State of Plays together, you're looking at about just over 30 minutes or so of Wow, I'm normally better than that. You know, normally you're looking at about 30 minutes, looking about above 30 minutes of time so far, just showing the games. Necessarily, like if you were to break that down into what like a normal E3 set would be, we're about maybe 2/3 of the way into it once you add in the theatrics of it, the changing people, changing who's speaking for each studio and each developer or whatever, all the intermission type stuff and all the stuff. They're like, you're probably about 2/3 through a E3 conference already. And it's been more concise and more straightforward.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Cut the theatrics, get to the point.
Yeah, but I miss something about, for some of these games, I like some of these games, like especially the like indie games or the smaller games, I feel like I connected with them more because
of their presentation.
Because this developer is coming out telling us about this game, and a lot of times they're like, yeah, we started working on this game 8 years ago, and da 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 da, and then 5 years, and then 3 years ago, this bigger publisher or whatever, kind of picked us up and put some power into what we were doing, and now we're here and we're so excited to be showing you the game. And you feel that passion coming from them, and it makes you look at the game even a little different, because we know that people work hard on these games, but when it's an actual developer telling you about how hard they worked on their game and how long they've been doing it, and how it was this small passion project and all that kind of stuff, it builds up everything for the game, and now you're looking at the game a little differently than just, here's this game, and you're just kind of like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I can see that.
It's not a knock to what's happening, because I do like this. I am a fan of the way it's working, but at the same time, I do wish that some of these had a little more presentation. Just to give them a little more, like, I guess, personality, basically. You know what I mean? If that's maybe the best word. Give some of these games a little personality.
Sell me the game,
like make me feel like, why am I so into this?
Yeah. This new format seems like it's more tailored to like already established.
Right. You showed me God of War in this format, I'm fine. We're already invested. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, I get that. But when we're talking about these new games or smaller, less known games, I need a little more personality with it, and that's what I feel like might be missing here. So hold on, let me talk.
I wish there was like a timeline for these state of plays, man, because I had no idea. Unless I guess they may have announced it on Twitter or whatever, like they seem to do, which I guess is a pretty
that's one of those things you just gotta keep up with.
And for somebody who's not on social media, that shit sucks.
You gotta be able to find the stuff, or you've got to get updates from like one of these websites. You got to follow like Kotaku or IGN or whatever, GameSpot or something like that.
Apparently, I wasn't even subscribed to PlayStation on YouTube, so that's my fault.
Oh, there's that too.
Yeah.
So let me talk about the games that we saw. So like I said, the Final Fantasy remake trailer, Final Fantasy VII remake. Like I said, it looked cool. It looked good. I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
I just like we talked about when John was here about like the last games we got like super excited for. It's just not one of those games I'm getting super excited for. I just don't care that much. It's cool, but I'm not.
I'm sure there's like the Final Fantasy fans out there that just are crazy.
Like,
oh my god, they're remaking my favorite.
Yeah, and they've been knowing that it's coming for a long time, so to see an actual trailer again and things like that, I'm sure it's very exciting for them. Just me personally, is it one of the turn-based
Final Fantasy games, or is it?
The original is turn-based.
Okay.
This looks like it might be like maybe a weird sort of hybrid, like a little more fluid-looking hybrid. It is turn-based, but it's gonna make look and feel a little more
interactive.
Yeah, a little more like free flowing. I'm not sure though. We haven't seen it for sure. So who knows? I think it was.
That's what turned me off about those games.
Yeah, the turn-based fighting and stuff. I was never a big fan of 3D games that are like that.
Yeah,
I was always okay with it, like playing Pokemon, but playing like a fighting game, like I just that's why would I just stand here and let them hit me? I don't know.
Oh, it's their turn.
It doesn't make any sense in Pokemon either.
My turn.
But for whatever reason, I guess like I suspended my, or maybe because that was given to me at a younger age, I was just.
It was on Game Boy. I mean it
felt like it made sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like this, I'm like on a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And like my characters are doing flips and stuff as
like
I'm
I just
running
came
and stuff.
from Mortal Kombat. Why am I now waiting to be attacked and then attacking? You know.
It kind of just doesn't really add up.
Yeah.
Anyways. We talked about Monster Hunter World again. That looks like a really cool expansion. The trailer that they put out there was actually really cool to see. You should definitely check it out if you get a chance. It looked really good. But that being said, I wasn't hyped up for the. I wasn't too crazy for the.
What turned me off about it was the animation style of that game.
Like how it looks,
yeah. Also, it's like super complex. The builds. It gets real wild. Like if you really get into it, it's just. I was already knee deep in Destiny. I couldn't really focus on two deep games at the same time. So I was like, you know what? I'll just let this one rock. But yeah, I saw the trailer. It looked dope. I think they released some clips of that DLC, that winter DLC. Mm-hmm. So I've seen a couple of those as well before this review.
Right. There's a new Predator game called Hunting Grounds. It's kind of like that Friday the 13th game, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Basically, one person is chasing people around. So it's like that. I think one person's Predator, and then the rest of you are like the army people, and you're fighting. So you have guns and stuff. And
that's cool.
Trying not to get killed by the Predator. I don't think it's the same people. I don't believe it is. But it's... Oh, no. Actually, you know what? I think they said somebody from this team or this team did contribute to Friday the 13th, which is where they got the idea from. I think that is true. I think that I did hear that.
I'd feel away if I was a Friday the 13th people.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So So the game is being developed by IllFonic, who's the same studio behind the Friday the 13th game.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they were the only studio behind Friday the 13th though.
Okay.
I think they did that in collaboration with someone because I heard that they like contributed to it. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't just themselves. I don't know that for a fact, and I don't really care enough to look it up. But I mean, yeah. So but they are. So they know how to make that style of game. So they made a Predator like version of it. I mean, it looked okay. Again, not something to go crazy over, but like enough. Let me see. They had announced this already anyway. But there's a new PS4 model coming to celebrate their Days of Play event that they do every summer. It looks cool. It does look cool.
No PlayStation
but
model.
They pretty much always look cool. Like I don't know if we really have a bad PS4 exclusive edition model. It looks good, but I
kind of miss that classic skin that they had on one.
Yeah. And you know what though? What I'm interested is
this is a model, not just a skin.
Yeah, that's a model that is coming out. Like that's something. Yeah. From at least that's how they presented it. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. That being said, I wonder if this speaks to the life they see the PS4 still having. You know what I mean? They said we won't get PS5 before April 2020, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we might not get that till either the end of 2020 or maybe 2021. And it really kind of depends on how everybody else starts moving. If Stadia really starts moving, if Microsoft comes quick with the next gen. See, Sony doesn't have to push because why else would you still release another exclusive console this close? Like you're talking about, we're under a year from when they're talking about releasing the next console. Yeah. You're still releasing an exclusive console. Like if this was like maybe a end of an era type console, right? That was like in some sort of like, you know, charcoal black or whatever. I don't know. Like it's just some other color. You know, or like in like, you know, the blue, but with like a black, I don't know, something else. I'd be like, okay, but because they're releasing like an event specific console under a year to when they gave us timeline for not to even at least expect the next console, though at the earliest we can expect the console.
Yeah.
It just seems a little odd. It seems like they think it has a little more legs. Why would anybody go out there and pay? Because it's not going to be the same 400. You know, it's going to be. I think the special edition console is like $100 more. So you're going to be paying $500 at least initially to grab one, and then if you want to pick one up later, it's all collector's items. But why would you even pay that now? And unless you're a collector, why would you pay that now for a new console when you know you're going to be buying, you know, PS5 and stuff is coming out?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like
maybe this is like a pre-budget PS5 type situation that'll hold you over until you want to purchase.
No, but it's going to be the same innards as the PS4 now.
It's true.
It's no different.
It's just a shell.
It's just a shell. That's all it is. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff inside. They're just like, oh, here's a cool shell we're going to put around the PS4 now. You know what I mean? It seems, yeah. I'm going to save this one for the last. They got a new Tokyo Jungle-esque looking game called Away. You play as like this weird animal looking creature thing. And, yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. I again, didn't capture me.
Yeah,
I'm sure other people are probably like super excited for it. It looks amazing, and but me, I was just like, yeah, okay. Oh, and then they got another game called Riverbond, which features characters from Shovel Knight, Bastion, and other games like that. I am again nothing excites me about that game at all. It's not a knock to them, just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doesn't excite me.
Riverbond?
Riverbond, yeah.
Riverbond.
It's one of those games that like it's one of those games that looks like when you see a trailer for it, you're like, oh, it looks cool. But when you're actually looking at it, you're just like,
it's not like, that cool.
Yeah, like I wouldn't spend money on it. You know what I mean? Like if you gave this to me for free, I might try it out with my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, the game that I thought looked interesting but was whatever is this game called Medieval. Okay. Apparently, it's an older game that they've updated to be like remastered.
This looks familiar.
But it looks like, if you see the trailer and watch the trailer, it looks like Fable.
Yeah.
It looks like Fable. Now,
mean.
It's not that same style because Fable, you're kind of like your own character.
Yeah.
Fable is like a miniature Skyrim type game. You know, you're really your own character. It's really RPG. You can have families and all kinds of stuff, and you know, Fable's a lot different.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's necessarily the case here. The roles are very defined in this game, but it looks like Fable. It looks like that type of game.
Yeah.
That sort of like, hey, it's not too serious, but you know, you should probably try to stop the bad guy. That's what it feels like. But everybody's like skeletons and stuff.
Yeah, everybody's skeletons. Yeah.
You know, so it's very kind of like cartoonish. It's not. You know, it doesn't seem like there's going to be like, you know, levels where you're going to be stuck. You know, it seems like a good game, you know, if you got like a significant other who isn't super into games, that's guys or girls, by the way. Okay, because you girls might date a dude that's not really into games, and he's like, yeah, babe, I just want to play a game like you, I'm trying to get into it, and he needs an easy game because, you know, he's out here struggling with Kingdom Hearts 3 on easy, and that's just pathetic. So you give him Medieval, And that's his sweet spot.
Line.
That might be his game, right there. I mean, you watching your man get scrubbed at 2K.
Yeah,
that's tough. But Medieval, that might be his jam. That might be his, right in there.
It might be his lane, man.
Might be his lane. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to see that relationship dynamic.
I would love to see a relationship dynamic where the dude doesn't play games, but the girl does. I wonder if that happens. We could get some girl gamers on here and talk about that.
Yeah.
And somebody call in and talk about that. If they ever dated dudes that weren't into games, but they were, and how that works.
I know some guys that are that have grown out of games, like they were into games, but then they I guess they're our age now, and they're just interested in different things now. They don't play games as much anymore.
Yeah, but then dating women who are still heavy into it. I feel like as dudes, it's easier for us to be into gaming and date women who aren't into gaming at all than it is for a girl who's super into gaming. Like, for women that are super into like gaming and anime and stuff like this, I feel like it's harder for them to date a guy who isn't into that kind of stuff.
It's harder for them. Yeah,
like it just feels like it's harder for him to date a guy who isn't at least remotely interested. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not even like a little, if you're just like, look, the Avengers are stupid, I don't want to go see that at all. Like, if you're not just into it, like, because where's the overlap going to be? I feel like dudes were a little bit more, and this is a very bad conversation to be having without a woman here. But I feel like as for dudes, we're just a little more willing to just go outside our comfort zones. Okay, like, but I do think we do date women who have like I said, that kind of just remote interest where it's like, okay, sure, I'll go watch that movie with you. Yeah. Okay, sure, I'll watch this series with you. Fine. Like, you know what I mean? But then you got to concede, because then you got to watch something she like or whatever. You might have to go see a movie she want to go see. Whatever.
Yeah, or a show she want to watch.
You know what I mean? You're stuck. You know, you got to go like to the botanical gardens and shit.
You don't think women are as open minded? I think they would.
No, I don't think it's that they're as open minded. I just think it's like for dudes, like I think this is as dudes, like if you're into like a little bit of what we're into, and then we can kind of get into a little bit of what they're into. But if the girl is like super, super into one thing and the dude isn't even remotely interested, it just doesn't feel like that ever works. Whereas like for dudes, I feel like
you could be super into one thing and not have to bring them in.
Like you don't have to be into this one thing with me. I can be into this thing by myself. Whereas like with women, I just feel like they need you more, like, to be at least a little bit invested in that thing with them. You know what I mean?
There's a theory there. I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. That's the crazy thing.
Idea. I don't know.
We'll figure out who to get on here to have a deeper discussion about it.
Yeah, do some research.
We'll talk to some women who can tell us.
I wonder if Pat Rice has ever dated anyone that wasn't into like games.
I don't think she has. Patrice is really open about this stuff. I don't know if she has. I have to ask.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like it has to also be like people you dated while you were really into it, because like I dated girls that weren't into games or anything like this at all, but at the same time I wasn't projecting this is my interest. You know what I mean? Like this was like a secret interest. I was hiding that I like did this stuff. You know what I mean? When they around, the only games on the table is, you know, NCAA and Madden and, you know, the man games, you know, or like a Splinter Cell. Yeah, I shoot shit. You know, that's cool. You can get away with that. You might be able to get away with a fighting game. You know, but once you got like the, you know, the Naruto story game, or, you know, the Kingdom Hearts on your shit, you're looking a little you gotta hide those. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how you go see it, man. If you can't get with Kingdom Hearts, man, get out of my room.
Nah, man, I had to build myself there, man. I wasn't always there. I was definitely not always at the point where I was just being open, like, hey, by the way, I've read every Harry Potter book 20 times. You know what I mean? I wasn't really there at the jump. You know what I mean?
It's so hard to like imagine a time where that stuff was not. Because I was talking to my coworker and he was saying the same thing. Like, like there was a time where we used to like hide the fact that we read comic books. Like we didn't let anybody know that. because you'll get talked about. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? And now it's just open, and I just can't even think of a time where that was
crazy.
A thing.
Because there's people that I never ever heard or saw talking about comic books or anything, talking about how they love comic books and how they're reading comic books for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not saying that they were like picking on people for reading comic books or being nerds or anything like that, but just being like, you never expressed anything like this at all, and then all of a sudden, and like it seems like out of nowhere. Now, like, you were doing this for the longest time, you're into it. And it seems disingenuous to people that, you know, we're in those small pockets of people who did read comic books or, you know, read fantasy books, and we're into science fiction or into fantasy, whatever, all these kind of things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I even talk about, like, Game of Thrones. Like, it wasn't that I wasn't into it, didn't want to be into it from the beginning. One, I was when the books when I started, you know, noticing the books, like being told about the books, I was deviating away from fiction more. So I was like, I don't know if I want to read another big fiction story again, you know, I don't know. Yeah. And then we couldn't afford HBO when the show first came out. We didn't have it. There was no HBO. So I wasn't watching it, you know, whatever. And then obviously as time goes, you hear more and more about it, like, you gotta watch it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I haven't figured out how to watch this show. And that's when I started watching it before season 6. So it's, so 5 seasons in, I started watching. But like, that's there was a time when none of that shit was okay. Like liking Lord of the Rings. You know what's some bullshit, bro? Yeah. You know what's some fucking bullshit? And nobody else is gonna call these niggas out for this. No. And we don't have enough listeners to make any noise. That nigga Maul on the Joe Budden is a bullshit ass nigga, bro. Oh. When they was trying to tell that nigga you need to watch Game of Thrones, I don't do all that fantasy shit, bro. I don't do none of that. That fantasy is not really me, son. I'm too street. I'm too New York, yo. All right, bro. The last episode on Wednesday, that nigga said he loves Lord of the Rings.
He did say that.
He said he loves Lord of the Rings.
He did say that.
What the fuck are you talking about, nigga?
So I love Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying?
Because I really love Lord of the Rings, so I think I'm gonna like it. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Them niggas always them niggas always talk about being consistent. That nigga was not. I was waiting. I knew, because I was like, once these niggas watch this show, really all I was trying to do was catch them enjoying the show. Because like once these niggas watch this show, they can get into it. And then niggas all flipped their script because they was all, because Rory the only one who done kept it a 1,000 is still, and he probably watching it on the low. Rory the only one who been like, I don't think that's for me. But Joe, I didn't know there was dragons. I love dragons. Joe's so fucking phony, bro. Like, these niggas are so fucking fake, dog.
Oh, man.
When he was clowning it, it was fun to clown it at first. And he was like, I don't care about, this fantasy. That's just not me because, we're rappers and we're hard and we shoot niggas. All right, bro, shut the fuck up. Bruh. Now this nigga Joe talking about he loved dragons. And this nigga Moss talking about Lord of the Rings, his favorite trilogy and shit. Nigga, who are these niggas?
I already know the kind of nigga that Maul is.
Who are these niggas,
Maul,
bro?
that kind of, he the nigga that's on the low, a softy, but outside he gotta be tough.
Come on, bro.
You ain't gotta,
you ain't gotta be like that, bro. This nigga said he like Lord of the Rings
for everything.
Like, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Everything,
bro. It'd be one thing if he was like, oh, you know what? People told me I like Spartacus, and it's kind of like that. I'd have been like, all right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. This nigga didn't just jump to like another old show. It wasn't like, I was watching this this Netflix series that was kind of like that. So maybe I'm a rock with that. No, this nigga jumped to Lord of the Rings,
man.
That's
like a step above.
That's a nerd level. That's a nerd
above,
thing.
Freaking Game of Thrones, even.
That's a really nerdy thing to like. You understand? I like Lord of the Rings. I'm not a super fan.
I'm
not a super fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I like it. Right? I like it. I like what I saw. I like the movies. I'm really and jealous of the fact that they got to do movies at such long lengths in order to actually capture the books, which are very long. So I enjoy all of that, right? I think it's great. That being said, Maul didn't jump to like. You understand?
Yeah,
you understand who this nigga is?
Star Wars, or
even Star Wars, I would have taken, bro.
Yeah,
Star Wars, I'd be like, you know what? I get it. We've had some big blockbuster movie coming out. This nigga went to Lord of the Rings.
This nigga just started the Narnia movie that he could think of, and that was the one. Like, what's one that's like that? Lord of the Rings. That's one.
You see, because I really like Lord of the Rings. What?
Nah, nigga, you didn't like. I don't think he like.
No, he's lying.
He's lying.
He's lying. He does not like Lord of the Rings. The nigga is not a Lord of the Rings fan, bro.
Or maybe he is on
he's
the low.
not.
And he just let us into that mall world for a second.
Well, look, bro, he was lying at one point or another. Either he lied at the beginning and he's telling the truth now, or he was telling the truth at the beginning and he's lying now. It's one of the two. It's only two options. That nigga is either a liar from the past or a liar today. It's one of the two. But he's a nigga liar.
And it's funny because I'm pretty sure that nigga Joe Budden of all people knows exactly who Maul really is.
And this nigga Joe talking about, I didn't know there was dragons. I hate that nigga Joe, bro. That nigga's so fucking fake, bro. He loved dragons.
Yeah, he loves dragons now. Goddamn,
nigga loves dragons. Nigga, oh my goodness.
Nigga.
Like, yo, if y'all niggas don't shut the fuck up and watch the damn show, bro, then come on, bro. Damn.
Yeah, man.
Just catch the fuck up. Watch the show. Enjoy this shit with us. And like, come on, man. This nigga Maul talk about Lord of the Rings. Come on, bro. Who gave this nigga Maul Lord of the Rings while Jay-Z was losing 92 bricks, bro? Who the fuck gave him Lord of the Rings to watch? This nigga talk about being in come on, man. You telling me niggas was coming home from the streets to watch Lord of the Rings? Come on, no, I'm not believing it.
So I'm gonna meet y'all in a second, man. I gotta watch this movie.
I gotta catch up, bro.
I gotta read this chapter, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they in the wilderness, man. Anything could pop off.
It's real out there, bro. They ain't even got no strap, bro. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Oh man, come on, dog. No, Maul reading or watching Lord of the Rings is the wildest shit. What he be saying? That's crazy. That's crazy.
What if anybody go catch him on that shit, nigga?
Bruh.
Oh my god.
That is crazy. That nigga Maul reading or watching Lord of the Rings is crazy. Sitting still for 3 movies? Nah. That's like 12 hours, bro.
What was it? I watched one of the movies. They were walking in the wilderness. I fell asleep in the middle of that shit. I woke up. They were still there. I was like, this shit's fucking crazy. This shit's wild. I didn't even miss anything. That's hey.
Bro.
Whatever you into, man.
Bro, nah, bro. He not finna get this off, bro. I'm not letting Maul get this off, bro. I'm putting this audio out and tagging them niggas. Because I refuse to let them niggas tell me 500. So hold on. Theatrical runtime of all 3 movies is 558 minutes. The extended runtime 686 minutes. What's that in hours? I don't know. I can't do math. It's like 10 hours or something.
Yeah.
686. 11 and a half hours basically. So yeah, I was close when I said 12 hours.
Yeah.
Maul sitting still for 12 hours watching the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings.
You got him on Blu-ray, man. You got him on Blu-ray, bro. You got a shrine in his room, bro. Lord of the Rings.
He got the ring in there.
It's precious, bro. You got it.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Yo, nah, bro. He gotta tell me. I gotta know if this nigga lying. Ain't no way. Whatever, man. Hey, no disrespect, man. We fans of them niggas, so whatever.
True.
What was the next one? Yeah, that was it for State of Play, really, man. State of Play, it was, like I said, it was cool. It didn't blow me away. I am a fan of this because I do like the Nintendo Directs and how close they are. It just seems like when Nintendo Directs hit, it seems like there's at least one big hitter all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had like Breath of the Wild, or they've got, Smash Brothers. Seems like everyone has like a huge hit that like everybody kind of wildly is looking forward to.
Yeah.
This didn't seem to have that. Like, I feel like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I feel like that has a big following, but I still feel like that's a portion. Same thing with Monster World Hunter. Like, I feel like that has a pretty big following, but it's still a portion of the community. There wasn't one thing.
When is E3? June, right?
June, yeah. So they
I
said,
feel they're probably going to push some like heavy
I think they're going to do something like maybe the week before E3.
Okay.
I think they're going to do another State of Play.
Yeah, they're going to come after E3?
No, I think they're going to do one right before E3.
Right before E3?
Mm-hmm.
Just to shit on E3.
Yeah, well, you look at some of that Monster World Hunter, you know what I mean? Like, that's on everything, I think, still. And, or Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably going to be on everything. Xbox, but they push that now to kind of get that narrative of, hey, play these games on PlayStation. I mean, we're going to see, like, how does not being at 3 affect, because these people can talk about, how much money they're spending and, whether it's, making the money or not or whatever, or are they, talking to the right people, since it's a lot of journalists and stuff at these events. And you've got a point with all of that, right? At the same time, though, this is a point that people on the fringes of gaming all kind of pay attention. People that aren't even that I mean, when we would watch E3 like back in college, I'd skip classes sometimes, things like that, to watch a show, and I'd talk to people who I didn't think knew even like half a thing about gaming. They'd be like, "Yo, I was just watching E3 and they were talking about this and this and this," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, they've been talking about that for about like 3 months, and this was just kind of showing this and this," and it's like, "Oh, I'm having this conversation with this person. I didn't even know you even knew what E3 was." You know what I mean? I thought you were so far. I thought like gaming was just such a side thing to you. You know what I mean? But you do care a little bit, and this is their moment of watching. Like just how you, as somebody who's actually invested in this stuff, like missed the state of play. Imagine how much easier it is for somebody on the fringes. So these big events like E3 do draw extra eyes that you don't normally get, and those people, they might not be checking and see that you have a state of play, or you have a Nintendo Direct, you have your own thing going on. I think Nintendo's a little bit different. I think you have to be like a massive Nintendo fan to kind of really jump in and really be supporting Nintendo early in each process. So I feel like you keep up with stuff like that. Like if you own a system, you keep up with it. But like PlayStation and Xbox, they're just very generic systems to have. And you're not as, even though there's a lot of PlayStations out there, everybody's not watching every single thing you do. You know what I mean? I've got I remember my old boss, he would tell me, he's like, every time I turn the PlayStation on, I got to update it, and it's da-da-da. And I'm like, well, how often you turn the PlayStation on?
You must be.
And he's like, well, once a month maybe, or so I'll hop on and play a little Madden. And I'm like, yeah, like.
That's why.
That's, like, yeah, like, yeah, of course. You turn it on once a month, yeah, it's going to need an update every time.
At one time, like, it's going to kill me. I can't.
You know what I mean? And then he's like, yeah, I'll turn it off sometimes. The update be taking too long or whatever. And I'll be like, I mean, yeah. But he has one just to have. You see what I'm saying? He just has it.
Yeah.
And he's on the PlayStation side of the Xbox argument. He was arguing with my other coworker about. This is what I used to work at the old place, the old place.
Yeah.
They used to argue. He bought his kids Xboxes, and he had Xbox, and he has all daughters until he just had a son, and he bought his kid PlayStation, and they would argue about the better one, and I'm like, neither of y'all know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? He'd be like, oh, it's just better, and I'd be like, don't you think it's better? And I'd be like, well, yeah, but y'all don't know why. Y'all don't know why. Y'all just talking.
I'm not gonna add to your argument.
You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all just talking. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about, but it was fun to hear. You know what I mean? Like, so there are people out there who just have it. You think he's watching State of Play? You know what I mean? Like, he always has the latest iPhone. But I remember one year I was watching the Apple keynote, and I was like, oh, the Apple keynote's on right now, and I took my lunch to watch it, so I'm watching it at my desk, and he was just like, oh, tell me about it when it's over. And I'm like, yeah, you can watch it. Like, I can send you the link. He's like, I don't watch it. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
So I want to know the important shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, you can tell me about it. He's like, I'll probably read an article later tonight on my phone about it or something. I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If you're like, that's this state of play. If you don't know to look for it, this isn't popping up in your big news feed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not just, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not following gamers on Twitter, it's not just randomly popping up in your.
If you're not following the gamers, you're not going to see it.
You're not going to know. So,
which I guess the same can be said about E3.
No, not really, man.
I didn't really know about E3 until you told me about it.
I'll say yeah, but that was a long time ago. I think
now, before like social media
because again, gaming is a lot more accepted. It's a bigger thing. People are trying to be into it. People are trying to be in the know about it.
Yeah.
E3 has gotten even more popular, and I do think that when you say E3, even if you're in the fringes of the gaming community, you understand, like, like, oh, that's a gaming thing at least, right? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like it's something you know about. You know what I mean? Oh, that's something we're supposed to pay attention to. Okay, let me pay attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just what E3 to me seems like. It's the thing. And I do think, and we talked about before, I do think it is a dying conference. I don't think it's going to last much longer.
Oh, man. I feel like E3 brought gamers together. Well, I mean, we're already here, though. I mean, having it all separate is kind of, I don't know. I guess it's just got something you got to get used to.
It's not surprising, man. Everybody is trying to own their own narrative. And when you go to a conference that's like E3, you got to play into that game of what's on the show floor and what's here. So listen, hey, the developers and the game developers and all that kind of stuff, they can go out there. We can send some people, 1 or 2 people out there to represent us on that floor. We don't need to be doing a big conference. We don't need to be doing this big theatrical thing anymore. The people that are really into our stuff, they're going to follow us. They follow us on Twitter. They follow us on social media. They follow us on YouTube, Instagram, everything. And we'll tell them when we're doing something, and they'll tune in.
I wonder if, like, say Bungie got a showcase, will it be, will they go to E3 or will it be like...
Yeah. The developers can go wherever they want on their own. Yeah, they just won't be a mix. So, like, so it'd just be a Bungie...
I got you.
Yeah, Bungie be like, hey, we're doing a little presentation. Capcom's doing a little presentation, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Normally it'd be the bigger, it'd be the publishers necessarily doing, like, there'd be like EA does it, right? And then you see all the different EA studios. Ubisoft does it, and you see all the different Ubisoft studios. Activision, all different Activision studios, right? So Bungie would have been under Activision before. So an independent developer going out there to do one, I don't know that happens that often. I mean, maybe Bethesda, technically, I guess, because I don't think they split up. Like, all the games come from Bethesda. It's not like Bethesda, New York, and Bethesda Mumbai or whatever. It's not like separate places. It's just Bethesda games.
Yeah, so they do have their little. They do have their.
Whereas like Ubisoft's like Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft whatever, Ubisoft Paris. Like, it's always different Ubisoft places, right?
Yeah.
So like Ubisoft, that's different. Ubisoft has separate studios in different places that work on different games at different times. So that's why they'll come in and be the overarching publisher, and then, hey, this is somebody from this studio who's talking about this game. Here's somebody from this studio who's talking about a different game that they're all working on. Bungie wouldn't be like that, though, right? Like, Bungie just has Destiny. So that's why it's easier for them to go on a stage like Sony with other people that just have, with other people that are going to just have one game or 2 games on an actual platform like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious to see kind of how it goes without somebody like Sony. I mean, Bungie could just as easily go on Microsoft's stage. I'm sure they would like it.
I was thinking that too.
I'm sure they wouldn't. I'm sure Sony wouldn't appreciate it because I think they still have their deal together that they have to work out.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't know if Bungie wants to work with Microsoft in that way to be on their stage. You know what I mean? Like, because to be on their stage is basically like, hey, play it here first, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna get the best experience for our game here. Is the idea why you'd be on that stage? So I don't know. I mean, it may just be one of those things where it's like, hey, Bungie may have something amazing at E3, but they're not gonna have a stage. You just have to be there and be like, hey, and hear about it, or there's a program or some sort of pamphlet they give out to. Because it really is an experience for the people that are there.
There are us, and I do notice the smaller studios during E3 would have their own thing, their own little website or YouTube situation.
I just really think that these individual things are fine. I'm okay with these direct type sort of things. I know this is exactly what John wanted, so I'm cool with it. But I do wish. There's a part of me that does wish there was a little bit more presentation in some of it, is the overall thing, and I'm going to be very curious to see how E3 goes this year and how popular it is and how interesting of the information we get from it is. If it's not as compelling anymore, slowly it'll die off. If you're not getting the biggest news from E3 and you're getting the biggest news a week before E3 or a week after E3 or on a completely separate stream but during the same time, that has nothing to do with E3.
I'm curious if Google shows up at E3, which I think they may.
Maybe,
then
just to be there.
That'd be interesting.
Just to be there, I don't think it saves
them. They don't have
a
conference.
I don't think it saves them. And what are they going to show that's going to shock us any more than what they did with Stadia already? What more can
They might show some more, maybe some standalone projects, or
if they've got some great exclusive games, maybe
exclusive games.
But new IPs are weird. It takes a lot for a brand new IP to really grasp people, where it's like, oh shit, like, oh my god, like that's what, like, you're doing what, you know what I mean? That takes a lot. That's not that easy. So hey, if they do, I hope they are able to have that moment that that people go, this is why I watch E3. This wow, it's crazy that we got this revealed here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't sleep on it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't lose sleep over. I wouldn't hang my hat on it. I'm not really anticipating. My expectations are just really low.
Yeah.
For E3. That's
I mean, I'll tune in, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Last thing on my quick facts, because that was way longer than I expected it to be. Spider-Man: Far From Home trailer came out. We talked about it a little bit. And I talked about it in our group chat. It's very interesting, crazy what was revealed to us, but I don't like it.
I was surprised they said they introduced the multiverse so soon.
I'm not surprised they introduced it. I'm surprised that they ruined it before we could just go see it.
It would have been nice to see it in actually.
Like, I know,
oh shit! You introduced the multiverse.
I know what's happening. I watched Endgame. I'm smart enough. I'm well versed enough in comic books to understand what was set up for us in multiple timelines and multiverse stuff that's been suggested. I get that. So I understand that they pretty much laid it out in front of all of us, as much as possible. I get that, but come on, man. Like, you gotta tell me directly in the trailer, like,
yeah,
come on, dude. Like, I've talked about it for a while, and I think Marvel has gotten just worse and worse, as most movies are doing. Though I don't know that many movies are coming out that have good trailers.
Yeah.
But that being said, this was just very. Yeah, listen, I'm sure there's going to be twists and things in there that are still going to make the movie exciting and great. I've said multiple times, Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. I love him as Spider-Man.
He said, there's going to be some spoilers in here. But that was in regard to Endgame.
Come on, man.
He said it.
Come on.
Like, hey, there's going to be some spoilers in here. If you don't want to see him, don't watch it.
No, come on, man. But he meant in regards to Endgame, because he starts the thing by saying, if you haven't seen Endgame, don't watch this yet. So obviously it starts by talking about,
Tony Stark.
Tony
being dead.
Okay, well, Ian said it, not me. So whatever, he came out of me. I don't know. All I'm saying is I don't know. What I'm saying is we had a special episode for Endgame that you knew don't listen to without spoilers.
Oh, my God.
Now you just kind of said it out there. You just kind of said it. What if they're like, oh, this might be a safe one to listen to? And then, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I didn't say it. Ian said that.
That's my bad.
Just saying.
That's my bad.
In case anybody thinks we sound the same, that was Ian,
and guess
not
what?
Derek.
And guess what? If you haven't seen it by now, then that's your fault. That's your fault, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Then wow, bro. We don't know where people at, bro, with their funds and everything, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. We can't.
Well, if you ain't got the funds, you should have figured out a way to bootleg the shit, man.
That still take funds, bro. That dude, you gotta either have the internet at the crib, or
you do. You
gotta have a good bootleg man coming through.
Go to the right
what
barbershop.
If the bootleg nigga only giving out Blu-rays now? You got a Blu-ray player at the house. You can't even have the DVD player.
I'll be
high-end bootleggers, bro.
These niggas
like, I got the Blu-rays on the low.
The Blu-rays on the low.
Come on, bro.
What does that even mean?
Come on, man.
Oh my God, nigga! How did you get those Blu-ray discs to burn these shits? What did you use to burn them?
Come on, man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, while you eating your sandwich.
Anyways, that was all I got for Far From Home. I don't know.
I liked the trailer.
Yeah.
I liked it.
You're cool with it?
It explains. I guess it explains. Well, I guess not totally explains. I still feel like he's gonna backstab Spider-Man in some way.
Mysterio.
Yeah. But he said he's from a different universe. So
yeah, I saw everybody talking about he could just be blatantly lying.
Yeah, he could be blatantly lying.
But he's got Fury kind of on his side, which makes me kind of believe him a little more.
Yes.
But he could still be lying about what he showed Fury. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways he could have tricked Fury into thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know how you trick going to another dimension, though, maybe. And that's the only way I believe that Fury would believe him, if he'd actually went to the dimension and seen it. But then maybe in that dimension he can flip things or make things look different, or who knows, the reality of what Mysterio can really do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was wondering if this means that we may see Miles Morales.
I think so. I think there's a potential for it.
Yeah.
Especially now that
we have
people are 5 years older.
That's true.
So Tom and Miles could actually be a little bit closer in
age. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
there's potential for something like that too, maybe, or like you said, or you go into a multiverse and now you find Miles in the other one or something like that. Yeah, it could be a lot of different things. So I mean, who really knows, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, obviously I'm still excited for the movie. I'm still gonna go see it. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. These are my favorite Spider-Man movies right now.
Yeah.
I just like him as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Everything around him is fine too, but I just like him as Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
His moments.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he embodies Spider-Man really well.
Yeah. And so, like when when an actor really hits, like Michael Cera, whenever he plays like a awkward person, like you're not sure if you're acting, like you like that might just be how this nigga is. You know what I mean? That's just him. Like I don't know. I don't think he acting. That's how Tom Holland feels playing these roles of Spider-Man. Like he doesn't. He makes it feel like he ain't acting.
Like he's genuinely
like he
this
genuinely
way.
is like that. Like that's genuinely how he'd have that emotion right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, I'm still excited to see it. I'm still gonna go see it. I'm sure there's gonna be some twists and turns that we're gonna love and everything like that. I'm sure the movie's gonna be good, but I am disappointed. The trailer just reveals things that
that was
we
a pretty
used
big thing to reveal.
Yeah, like these are things that we used to love confirming our ideas sitting in the theater. You know what I mean? Like, I knew it. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that wasn't even too long ago. Even when we started going to the movies as a group, I felt like the movies we were going to see still had that aspect to it. Like we would be in theater like, oh shit, they did do that. Oh, look at that. Like, oh man, I can't believe they actually called back to, you know what I mean? Like little things like that. I feel like we still had that. And just over these last like 4 years now, it feels like that's all but, 2 to 3. Yeah. So these last like 2 to 3 years, I feel like that's just all but going away. Like,
yeah. I think the last time I had that feeling was Shazam.
But that was because we were ignoring everything.
Were we though? Because I don't even know if they.
Well, I was. I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything. Like even the trailer that I did see, or the trailers I saw, I didn't see anything.
After I saw the first one, I just remember saying, "Bro, like I think this look corny. I don't really want to see anything again."
Like the trailers themselves were doing a disservice to the actual movie.
I agreed. But I said I thought this would look corny. It didn't look like it was going to be whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not even going to bother watching anything else because I just don't want to. I don't think my expectations get any lower, and I don't want anything to accidentally raise them. And then I get there and I'm disappointed. So whatever. And then when I went in, but if I had actually been watching everything, you know what I mean? Like, because my spoilers, like I knew about the Shazam kids, but again, that was an assumption, and then internet stuff kind of spoiled it.
Okay.
But
okay, so yeah, I wasn't really.
So like you just weren't looking, but if I went back and watched the trailers now, it's a little bit unfair because I've already seen the movie. But I'm sure I could easily pick out some things. I'm like, that could have ruined it for me, or I could have, that would have seen that coming with this or that. So like I'm kind of in between. I just wish a lot of these movies were just a little more withholding of the information. What's going to happen in the movie is some of the big points.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool to be in the movie and he's like, actually, I'm from, Earth, whatever. You know what I mean? What did he say, 616 or something like that, or something like that? Whatever it was. Yeah. I know that. I know that's like a big thing to like Marvel comic book fan readers. I just don't know what I don't know all the Earths and.
Like, oh, he's from that Earth.
Yeah, like
on that Earth, Spider-Man's evil.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
fuck, I don't know.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
That was an interesting tidbit, though.
Yeah.
They could have done without telling us that. But
we didn't have to.
That would have been cool to find out in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
I admit that.
Yeah. And punching. There we go. Anyways, Ian, you can hit the Technically speaking.
First up, this is not a plug or anything like that. I just found it interesting. Bill Nye, the Science Guy. He has a podcast coming out on May 16th called Science Rules.
Is it spelled regular or is it spelled funky? To be cool and hip with the kids.
Nah, it's just Science Rules. This guy he tries so hard to be hip.
Who?
Bill Nye.
A little bit, yeah.
I just wish you would just be like, hey man, this science is science.
Yeah.
If you're into it, you into it. If you're
if
not,
you're not.
I'm not gonna try to get you into it. Like, I mean, but I'm very.
It looks like he's doing too much with it.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just gonna be another way to
talk about science.
Make science cool, I guess, or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, I think I mean, trying to make science cool is,
to me, it's not hard. Science is cool.
No, it's cool if you find like science. Everything with science, everybody thinks science is cool. You just don't know you think science is cool because there's probably things you think are cool that you just don't know are science.
Okay, see.
If that makes sense. Yes, I know that sounded kind of confusing.
Yeah. There's some things in the world that science is behind that you find cool, but you don't know that science is behind. You don't realize
it's science, right?
Yeah.
And this is why we're so fascinated when we find out how things work. Remember there's a class at Georgia Southern called How Things Work?
I didn't know that was a class.
Yeah. So there's a class. So basically, for everybody who's not an engineer, if you want to take a physics class at Georgia Southern, but you like, actual physics is way above my level, but I need a science credit. You got a class called How Things Work, and it's basically like, here's how. I
wish I had that class.
Huh?
Honestly,
I wish I could have taken that class. But no, you don't. Well, it depends. You want an easy A, you want to, because it's basically like, here's how electricity travels from a light switch to a light bulb, or whatever. Like it's it's not coming from the light switch. You know what I mean? Like the light switch isn't just generating power itself. In some instances, it might be, but there's a power source, and then it's clicking through, and then the light switch is a relay, and it's opening and closing based on whatever position you have. But that's what it is. That's what it is. It's that basic. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's how, electricity works. That's how it gets to the light bulb, and boom, any light bulb's on. Or
a little lesson for you guys who thought science was lame. There you go. Science is cool.
No, that probably made it worse. This is exactly why I fucking hate science.
That's why we need Bill Nye.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like, my thing is, I think science is cool to people when they naturally stumble upon science themselves. So if you can show people the science behind as many things as possible, I think that's how you get kids interested. But the problem is most of these kids, they're so turned off by science because they've just been forced, the boring science, to be fair. Here's cells and mitochondria, and here's, blah, blah, blah.
And to go that deep.
And it's just boring. It's boring science. No one cares.
Yeah.
Right? But if you start telling about the science behind how a car works early on, that's going to grab their attention, especially, you expose them to all these different kinds of science in elementary forms. Yeah. And I think then you'll grab these kids at the roots of what they do find interesting, because some of them may be like, oh, that's really crazy. I didn't know that these, elements that we use in our everyday lives, or these, these compounds that we use in our everyday lives, or these solutions or things, are just combinations of these elements or whatever. And if I just put these together, I can make this. You know what I mean? Or I can take these three things and make something completely crazy in my house. You know what I mean? And then you're super interested in that because that just sounds cool to you, because you didn't know that before. But that might not grasp, that might grasp, Sarah, but it doesn't grasp, Jimmy. So, but Jimmy's really into automation. His dad, has an old, Mustang or something at home, and he really likes it. He's always thought the car looked cool, wants to know how it works. And now you're showing him some small, I can't really think of a super elementary thought right now, but I'm sure like somebody like Kelsey could. But like you listen to like a real small, you take like an elementary part of just how a car works and like explain that, and they're like, oh, this is it. Like I want to be into this. And now there's a part of science that they're interested in, and that can go to everything. Here's the science behind music. Here's the science. That's why I said we can have Omar come sit on the podcast. That's there's a nerd to that. You're a nerd in that world, like. To know all these different, programs and all these different machines that you're using to plug in all this information and to learn these instruments on the fly and to record random things. You know what I mean? Like to put this together, there's a process, there's something there. And if you explaining the science behind a lot of these things, who knows how early people can grab on to it and realize, oh, there is a science to that.
Yeah.
But because we're so stuck in this old mentality, it's like, oh nope, they've got to learn about, red blood cells and white blood cells first. Like, who fucking cares? Like, I'm alive. It works, right?
Yeah.
Like, cool. You know, I like, don't get me wrong, I get that being mixed in there, and those sciences should be part of it. But like, give these kids a smorgasbord of science, because the reason kids who are into science get picked on is just because they're into the parts of science that people would say are weird or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, everything is science. So if you show everybody a smorgasbord of science topics and what you could learn from science in all these different fields, sports science, you know, whatever, all these different things,
cosmetic science,
so all of these things, bro, like, you know what I mean, like, talk about, you know, maybe there is some little kids out there who are super into makeup because their mom is into it or whatever, somebody else is into it, and they're like, oh, but you know that shade just isn't right. And now you're learning the science behind it. You learn a little bit of chemistry, and you learn how it gets mixed together. Now you mix it a little bit different to get the shade that you feel like is better. Now you got a 15-year-old who's been into science because they got introduced to the basics of it at 6, 7 years old, and at 15, she's already put together her own makeup line that she felt like fills in the gaps or something like that, or missing shades or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that easy. You know, I'm not saying that easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not it's not. But it's not just, oh, just do this and everybody's problem's fixed. But you talk about want to get people into STEM. Yeah. You know, it's not. You know,
STEM isn't just robots and
and getting people into biology. STEM is not telling me science facts over hip hop beats. That's not going to get anybody into STEM. That is turning everyone off. That no one wants to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, I do not want to hear the Pythagorean theorem or Newton's second law rap to me over, you know, the baby. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like on the show he had on Netflix, a lot of it was like, I would say more or less hip hop based. I was like, oh, jeez.
Don't want that.
Yeah.
Don't want that at all. Please, begging not to have that.
On Star Talk, they would have like songs in between that were science based or like science inspired.
Yeah,
but they were cool. They were actual songs.
Yeah, but they didn't feel corny. They didn't feel like we're gonna remix what you like now, but we're gonna talk about science. Like, that's whack. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's coming out May 16th. I'm gonna be subscribing to that. I can't wait.
Science rules.
Yeah. Cool. Another one. I know we spoken about earbuds a lot.
Have we?
And your which one do you have?
I have JBL Free.
Yeah, JBLs.
Freeze.
And I've always said that I never really saw the point of earbuds. I like the ones that I have. They're like necklaces, basically. The Beats X. I like those. And I always said that if I were to get into earbuds, they would be Beats earbuds. Well, Beats is coming. I think it's out already. The Power Beats Pro.
Yeah, they are.
Them joints are
expensive.
$250.
Yeah.
And the case looks ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Two of the biggest drawbacks: the thing has 24 hours of battery life. Supposedly, that's crazy.
Now that is nasty.
With the case, which I guess that may be why it's so big, has to hold all those capacitors. But yeah.
I mean, also the earbuds aren't like. So I like mine because they're literally in my ear. And when I'm especially like even now, like I'm doing the little job at night, so as I'm walking around this apartment complex, you can't really see them in my ear, to be honest. And they're black, you know, you can't see in my ear. Beats is gonna be this big, massive Bluetooth. I mean,
it's not that big.
It looks big.
When I've seen them on people, it kind of just goes. It silhouettes the side of your face. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like out. It's not coming out of your ear.
These are the same earpieces we used to crack on our parents for having.
But they're on both sides.
Yeah, that's might be worse.
The reason I don't like the earbuds is because I don't like to just have them just sit in your ear like that. I like the fact that the Beats like come around the Pro.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, that's fair. I like that. Subtle, just kind of pop them in the air, pop them out real quick.
And people have said that the convenience of being able to just do that is
instead
gone.
of having to worry about like wrapping it around the right way. Is it okay? Is it fit?
I feel like you be looking too hard into the fact that you got to wrap it around your ear.
No, I'm not sticking to it. I don't think there's anything wrong with these. I'm sure the quality in these is going to be amazing. One of the problems with my headphones, I've been told that sometimes the quality when I'm talking on them isn't good. So I mean, Don't get me wrong, but I mean, for me personally, listening to music and listening to stuff, no problem. It does do a weird thing sometimes where it like disconnect at random times sometimes, but I don't know if that's more on my phone or if that's on the, on the headphones. But I mean, all in all, I'm happy with mine, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, they look nice. They look cool. I do think that wraparound style. Now, my JBLs work really well for working out with them and running with them, and they work really well. That being said, I think these probably even a little bit better, a little more secure. But JBLs, I will admit that there are some times that I have to like just kind of readjust because I feel like they're slipping a little bit.
And these are like they're being directly compared to the Apple the AirPods, which because they're like under the same
price range
brand and same price range. Well, slightly more expensive.
Yeah.
But
this has like the Beats imprint, so it's supposed to have a certain level of audio quality, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
on it.
And they fit a more universal ear than the AirPods that I feel like only fit white people ears.
Oh, really? I've never really tried AirPods. I just never really like. I never liked the little thing hanging down.
Or even the regular one, the white one that they used to ship with the phones, or they still do, but those don't fit in my ears either.
Really?
I could never.
I never really had a huge issue with them, but they would fall out a lot.
They fall out all the time. That shit annoyed me. I was like, man, why don't they make them so that you can like?
Well, yeah, I think most of these like in-ear headphones too, like mine, the JBLs, they came with like 3 different sets of covers.
And that's the thing. The Power Beats Pro, they come with like different.
They're gonna come with different things.
Ear things for different ear sizes
to fit better and
exactly.
Fit. I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think these are gonna be a good product. I got mine for cheap.
Yeah, it's $250. They're nice and all, but like
it's still $250.
I do still want them.
Yeah, of course.
But my nigga, like,
of course, you got that Mary money. Go ahead and
go ahead
and drop that.
The $250 is gonna go towards upgrading this guy.
Ooh.
But yeah.
But I mean, no. I mean, they look nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. I wouldn't judge anybody or be like, you're dumb to buy them.
I mean, currently right now, there's no point in me even having them because I have 2 pairs of wireless headphones. I don't need a third. That'll be overkill. Like the second pair is for when I go work out because my the one I used to work, they're not water resistant.
Oh, okay.
And I already lost a pair trying to work out with them, and I guess they shorted out anyway. Yeah. Last on the thing was Google I/O. Did you see that? You watched?
I didn't get to watch a bunch of it.
I didn't know the show was even coming out until they said it in the group chat. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I watched a couple.
Google I/O. This nigga Ian is so out of the loop. So they announced first of all they announced that they are changing the Google Home Hub name to Google Nest, which I guess they're partnering with Nest completely now.
Yeah, I mean we knew that was going to happen eventually.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Nest, Vivint, they're all coming together.
Vivint as well.
Vivint, yeah, it's all under the
same thing.
It's all going to be Nest everything. So like if you get a Vivint home system right now, you get the thermostats and stuff they'll give you are Nest thermostats unless you don't. There's 2 types of thermostats you get, and they're trying to give you the Nest stuff is what they're trying to give you basically.
Yeah, I got you. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Vivint is also partnering in Google in there. They're all.
Yeah, that's still like the only thing I'm excited about having a house for to have all that Nest shit in there. But
last week we talked. Was that last week or in the part 1 that we just released? We talked about how. People getting their cars hacked and stuff that easily. Once you put all the technology in your home, all it takes is somebody hacking it, right? Like
absolutely
hacking all your shit. And
they got the Nest door lock. That shit can be hacked.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not doing that. I'm putting a regular fucking key and a bolt in here. Like no, like you know what I mean? Like
shit can definitely be hacked.
Like don't get me wrong. The niggas been picking locks with paper clips for years, but you got to work for my shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to have some old practices. I'm not letting you hack into my house. Some fucking loser is 10 miles away in a van and he's hacking into my house and you just waltzing in twirling a cane and you nah.
You gotta have a camera as well.
But I'm saying if he hacks into if everything is Nest, right? Everything's one. See, every one thing, right? If I was me, I would just get all the shit, but all different brands. So it's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
But you gonna be like, all right, we hacked into the cameras.
You gotta learn how to hack this product, and this product, and this.
Yeah, nigga. You hack into one camera, but guess what? You got 3 more cameras to go, nigga. And they all different brands. Nah, yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Ain't no regular system. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Like, you gotta do something because you get all Google Nest thing. Niggas figure that out.
I can see that actually. That's not a bad idea.
Niggas got your camera on a loop in 2 seconds.
Get like get the lock and then have the cameras be some third party shit. Not even like smart, just the cameras, nigga. Like, I got the cameras. If
some sort of backup cameras. Like, you gotta have something, man, because it just, I don't know. That's what makes me nervous about like the Google Home stuff. It just feels like it's gonna be so much. But I mean, I understand.
They announced the Nest Hub Max, which is the big brother to the I guess what they rebranded the Nest Hub, the smaller one. This one has a camera and a bigger screen.
So I think that is what that Google Home Hub. Kayla has one of those. John and Kayla have one of those.
John and Kayla got, yeah.
And so they've made this bigger, more like a tablet, essentially.
Yeah.
In your wherever you put it.
Yeah, it'd make more sense to watch like maybe Netflix or some shit or YouTube while you're cooking or something on that screen versus the smaller one.
The small screen that we've already had, right?
The smaller one seems more like a control panel for your house,
right.
than an actual media station.
Yeah, so if you have all like your stuff kind of going to one sort of technology room in your house, or something like that, you'd put that in there to control everything. Okay, turn this on, turn this off, whatever. Yeah. But the big one is something you could have just kind of out there. You know, you know, I don't know if you grew up like that, but like when I was a kid, we were a real small kid in Philly. Mom used to have this little tiny TV in the kitchen, real small TV in the kitchen, and she would sometimes she'd play the news or whatever, like you know. But I would look at it as something like that.
Absolutely.
Whereas now, you know, kids nowadays they just have their phones at the kitchen table, right, or whatever.
Crazy just to think about.
But you know, back then, like mama, like we wouldn't want to watch. You know, we'd be sitting in the kitchen, and the TV, because we the townhouse we grew up in was a little wanky, so the living room stuff was out there. Not allowed to eat out there.
So you go to the dining room.
You sit in the dining room, but you can't see the TV. So it's like, mom had this little TV for while she was cooking. You know, she would watch whatever, and so on the little TV, we'd turn that TV on, and you could, you know, watch Cartoon Network or something on. They didn't have all the crazy channels; you just had little antennas, but you would get a couple of channels or something like that.
Some shit,
PBS, you can get something on there. There might be a sports game or something on the main channel, ABC or something, and you turn that on while you're eating a snack in the kitchen or whatever like that. Well, now these kids can have something like these tablets as like a stationary thing that's like, hey, okay, no phones at the table, but we can all watch a YouTube video together, or we can all watch this show, whatever, something like that here, on a more group type, because that small one would be kind of hard for, you know, a 4 or 5 person family sitting around trying to watch in the morning, versus there's this bigger one now. Definitely looks a lot more like, hey, everybody kind of sit in their chair comfortably and look at it and watch. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like it. I mean, some of this stuff looks really cool. Yeah, you know, a lot of stuff looks really cool. I just, it ain't on my next up list, not yet.
Yeah, not for a while. We'll see what the price look like Good Friday.
A long way away.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't, right now there's no point for me. I mean, I got the hub already.
Right. You don't need to upgrade yet.
Maybe
it's only
when we get a bigger house or whatever, or when we get a house, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I got to see what exactly, because even when I was getting the hub, I don't see what I would need it. If you have like smart appliances, sure.
Yeah.
That's it though. That's like, if you don't have those, then there's no point.
But I mean, a lot of it is just getting the stuff for the future.
Yeah, it's like future-proofing your shit. Yeah, I get it.
It's like, I got this for when I do finally get the smart appliances. All right, cool. Now I got them.
Maybe a washing machine, but now dryer,
maybe by the time
connected.
You get the smart appliances, it's just about time to upgrade the hub again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they already got ovens that are connected to the shit. Like, set the oven to preheat the oven to 350. That man, that's a future I want to live in.
Well, I already told Ian, bro, when they buy a house, you just gotta get a finished basement. I'll pay my rent on time every month. Just let me finish this. Let me live in the basement. I want to play with the smart appliances.
The smart appliances.
I told Ian Crystal, just let me live in the basement, bro.
Yeah, we looking at basements and shit.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead and get your basement, bro. Finish it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pay,
Yeah, man.
$800 a month. That's kind of high. That's kind of high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
High. You know, this is the basement. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It ain't a sound for You started real high, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you want to do.
You should have went on the low end. 250. 250, a smooth little 250 for the basement. That y'all should be straight off that. Anyways,
I'd probably buy you the Pixel 3a that they announced at Google I/O as well. This is the supposed to be a budget smartphone that should be capable of, being not compared to the higher end models, but it gives you a camera that is comparable to or even better than the higher end models.
Really?
Yeah. So they first of all, the phone is like $400. It starts at $400, and the higher one is $450, I believe.
What?
For the Max version, and they both have the same camera as the one that's in the Pixel, whatever the highest model is. I forgot what the hell it is.
Damn.
They both have the same camera as that one, so
that is very tempting.
you can mess around and you'll have a cheaper phone and still be able to take quality selfies or photos with them. And nobody would know that you even have a cheaper phone because it'd be the same camera. It's the top camera in the market right now, honestly. But yeah, you can play with the big boys and still have some change in your pocket after you break off. I mean, 400 is still not it ain't nothing to cry. It's not it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than what's out here.
$400 is a cheap phone.
Like the highest model, it is in comparison to the ones that are like 800. Like that's the highest.
Is a cheap phone, dude.
Oh well, I mean, yeah.
That's a cheap phone.
Yeah.
I mean, and look at the phone market.
Yeah, the phone market. Yeah, in the phone market. Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
In a phone market, we're looking for a smartphone that's going to get. And I mean, they're talking about poor quality or whatever, right? Like, we don't realize how spoiled like we really are. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I was looking at this because I do this, but people don't know this, but whatever. Every morning I do this job where I drive these kids to alternative school, right? Every morning I drive them and I pick them up at like 1 o'clock and take them home, right? And these kids are in alternative school and they're not bad kids, right? When you actually like listen to them talk, they doing outlandish shit, but most of it is more because either their parents aren't like home a lot or whatever, things like that. And a lot of times you look at them and you like, yo, y'all don't realize how good y'all really got it. Y'all are just acting up to act up. Because these kids aren't coming from, I'm not picking these kids up from, apartment house. Not that there's anything wrong with living, growing up in an apartment. But I'm not picking these kids up from like rundown homes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm picking these kids up from nice neighborhoods. Nice houses, bro. Nice, like really nice houses. And they're all in Gwinnett. So it's like, I'm like, y'all kids don't got it that bad. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that maybe your parents don't come from certain situations or maybe your older siblings grew up in that. But you specifically at the age you are right now, you couldn't have been living in those situations for too long. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yo, come on, like, I really appreciate the freedom you do have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this little girl said she was just gonna steal just cause. She was like, I got a job and I know my mom would give me the money anyway, but I just didn't want to spend no money on it, so I tried to steal it. You're just bad just because, like, no other reason. You're just bad to be bad. You know what I mean? And but regardless, the interesting thing that the conversation they started having amongst themselves, completely without my influence, is they were just like admitting that they were spoiled. They just started admitting, like, yeah, I really do. It's really not that bad. I actually do got it pretty good. Da 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 da. Yeah, man. And they started admitting how spoiled they were. And what it made me think of was like, so they know this. You know what I mean? And so if I was the guy in the car who was like, but y'all don't know shit what it's like to grow up tough. Let me tell, like, if I was that guy, they would respond negatively to that because they know they don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck what you think. At the end of the day, I know that I don't know what it's like to grow up like that.
Yeah.
But you don't really know that. So fuck you for trying to come at me that way. So they're going to get defensive and da-da-da-da. But when they just had the conversation themselves organically, they all admit every single car in that kid, every single kid in that car, every single kid in that car, every single kid in that car admitted that they were spoiled. They all said the same thing. We're so spoiled. Like, oh yeah, my mom would do this for me, even as bad as I be doing this and this. Yeah, I know my mama got me. Da 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 da. Yeah, my daddy gonna come through this. It's fine. Look. And I was like, yo, what the? I was like, so y'all know this and y'all just taking advantage of it. Cool.
Yeah, they're just spoiled.
But admitting you're spoiled is a big thing, and our generation doesn't do that a lot. You know what I mean? We want the latest, greatest everything, right?
Yeah.
And like even me, right? So I told you, I didn't say it on air, I don't think, but so I've got the downgrade internet, right? I don't have the right now. A lot of services are pretty high up there, you know, or they cost a lot of money. Well, Spectrum, I was able to talk them into giving me the 30 megabytes plan that they have, right? So it's real small. You know, router isn't even that great, but in the house it works fine. It works pretty well. It connects everything, no problem. It's streaming stuff out there, no issue.
It's probably really good. It's just that the router they gave you is probably trash.
The router's pretty trash too. I haven't been able to buy a router too
right now, and the shit was supposed to be capable of running 100, and what the router they gave us, it was only peaking at 50. So we eventually got the Google routers, and now the shit's going above 100 even. Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah, we'll see. So one thing I got to do, as everybody knows, I'm fighting to get out this lease. So I'm just chugging to the end of it, right? So the idea is to get out of this lease and then potentially get into like a 1-bedroom somewhere smaller and a lot cheaper. Because one of the problems is that the internet is down here and it's all the way down there.
Yeah.
And even if you get really good cord, it's a lot of cord to go through to get down there. You know, the only iteration I found that would actually even reach down there was 50, right? And I needed to like get the shortest distance, because even though it's only going 40 feet, it's still going 50 feet because it's going through all the cord.
Yeah.
Just because it's rolled up, right? And that does affect your signal. It does when it has to travel that far.
Yeah. Signal integrity.
So it being that far is part of the issue. You know, I don't have a setup in this front room, you know, because I just don't really need it. But that being said, in another place where everything was a little more condensed, a little closer, I'd have everything on LAN cables. You know, I have a splitter for my Amazon Fire Stick. You know, I have a splitter for my there's a LAN plug-in for the TV. There's a LAN plug-in for the PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like I would plug all those right into the router anyway, and it probably wouldn't be that bad. And eventually I will want to either grab, like you said, either one of the Google routers, or there's a couple other routers I've seen before. I will go grab one sooner or later, but it's just not a priority at the moment. But I mean, it's working well enough, right? I'm not doing anything crazy in here anymore. I'm not trying to stream or anything like that. So I don't need crazy speeds. I just need enough to be able to get on the internet, do some things on my laptop, and, you know, phone, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
But we don't realize, like, the speed things go at, and that's what this is kind of taught me, is like, stuff isn't even going that slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was using fiber optics before. So, yes, it was amazing to download a game.
Hey, man, I don't know what it's like to I know what it's like. I don't even have fiber optics, but when I go back home to my mom.
Oh, because your mom got it.
No, she don't have it. Her shit's like much slower than mine.
Oh, there you go.
And we don't even have, so feeling that shit is.
It's like, oh, you're like, oh, this is so slow.
From a rabbit to a snail.
It's not that slow. It's like, it's really not. When you think about it, it's like, it's like,
I mean,
but it feels that way because your stuff is happening instantly. Like, it takes you 30 minutes to download a game. Now it takes 2 hours. Well, dude, it's not that bad. Before, there was no downloading games over dial-up, bro. Like, or you can. You good luck.
Just hope your parents don't fucking answer the phone
at all. For 4 hours, you better try to do that shit overnight.
Yeah, everybody's sleeping.
And hope your mom don't remember she got to pay a bill in the middle of the night. Oh shit, got to get on the computer. Now you shit donezo. Like, you look, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, we gotta really be. And as somebody who had dial-up while we were in high school, think that through. I just want people to think that through. I was in high school between 2005 and 2009. I said dial-up. Okay. Somebody who had dial-up a lot later than everybody else had dial-up, it ain't sometimes being a little bit slower it's not the worst thing in the world. It's okay. And if you can get a phone for $400, think of if you put that on a payment plan. If you have like T-Mobile and you put that on a payment plan, if you just do like the regular pay, I don't know, how it works. how they like assign what phone costs what per month. I guess they stretch it out so it's always 18 months. But if you could get them to do something like, hey, can I do the regular like $25 a month payments that y'all normally do on phones? Your phone be paid off in no time.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could probably go in there and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna put 200 on the phone today or 100 on the phone today, and put the rest on a payment, and then I can come back in anytime and be like, hey, I'm putting another $100 towards my phone, and then hey, make a couple payments, save it up some more money. Oh yeah, by the way, I got the rest of the money for my phone. Pay off your phone. It's a $400 phone.
$400 phone, yeah.
And people would give that up because they're like, oh, it takes a second. It takes 1.8 seconds to load Instagram instead of 1.3. Like for what? You know what I mean? Like they're talking about. Like, it says poor specs, and people are going to hang on that. I think people are going to hang on that. I doubt they're that much poorer, bro.
It's not so. So first of all, it's a $400 phone. That's it's not gonna have like the latest Snapdragon processor.
No, we know that.
The latest,
who knows what the fuck that is anyway?
Screen,
who knows what any of that shit is?
You
know what I'm saying? The general public has no idea what any of that means. Any of it. There are people out there literally lying to their other friends who also don't know what it means about knowing what it means. No, I don't know. The new Pixel has the process. You don't know what this shit is, bro. You don't fucking know. You have no idea. Okay. You don't even know processor companies. You don't know who can make what. You don't know. I could tell you the iPhone has the latest NVIDIA chip, and you'd be like, "Yep, yeah, for sure. That's why I love it. It runs smooth." You'd sound like a fucking idiot. Most people have no idea what's in these phones, right? So it's like, come on, like you get the phone. Like I almost wish they didn't. I mean, and this is The Verge, I think. I wish that they didn't say it that way and let people just go into a store and try the phone. Yeah. Because you're gonna go in there and go, yeah, this does feel a little slow. Because you were told, yeah, this is a redacted phone basically. This is a poorer version. It's a little slimmed down.
But I mean,
come on, dude.
Once you look at the price of the phones that do cost that much, you'll be like, all right, it is what it is.
What do you mean?
Like the one with the Snapdragon 845 is $800. The one that's $400 is the 670 chipset. Nigga, like it's gonna be slower. Oh well.
Here's the thing. Like, how old is that chipset?
I'm not actually sure.
But I'm not. It's not 10-year-old technology they're putting in the phone, man. It's 2-3 years old max. Right? Like, listen, 5 years sounds crazy for them to put 5-year-old technology in a phone. So you're saying this stuff, and people don't realize how quickly technology devalues. So you're saying that this chip that they're putting in there is not anything older than 2 to 3 years ago. Now think back if you can, think back 2 to 3 years and think how fast your phone was going. Were you satisfied with it? Chances are yes, because you didn't know any better, and that was the fastest at the time. And chances are if you did that again and didn't have to make a phone payment anymore, because you could just buy it outright because it's actually a cheap phone, or you could pay it off really quickly, chances are you'd be in the same boat, I would think.
It has better battery life.
Come on, man.
It has a bigger battery.
They're giving you the same camera, which is the main thing most people care about anyway.
Do, actually. So the 3A has a 3,000 milliamp hour. The regular Pixel 3 has 2,915 milliamp hour. I guess I'm guessing that their phones are slightly bigger. The 3A and the 3A Max probably slightly bigger. 3A Max has 3,700, and the Pixel 3 XL only has 3,430. I'm like, okay, so these should last longer. The screens they use consume less battery, so this is gonna last even longer than the big brothers.
So you get better battery life. You get the same camera.
It's not water resistant. It doesn't have wireless charging. It has less RAM.
Okay.
Does it? No, it doesn't. It has the same amount of RAM.
Come on.
It starts off at 64 gigabytes of storage. It doesn't go up beyond that.
Okay. So you're not expanding. Past 64. Most people don't anyway. Maybe a little more now since you can download music from a lot of these like sites. So maybe people are using a little more storage now, but even music, doesn't take up that much space.
And if you're into that thing, they have a headphone jack. Yeah, the headphone jack.
There's back to your headphone jacks. There you go.
They got it. If you wanted it.
Listen, I'll tell you something. If Apple had a version of that, I'd get it in a heartbeat.
That's what the
XR is supposed to be.
The R is supposed to be, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't, and it wasn't $400.
It's like 600 something, I think, right?
Yeah, it wasn't $400. You give me a phone. You gave me this phone, this same size, same camera, and a couple of things taken out, and told me it was $400. I would hand them this phone today, right now, and pay whatever the difference was. Here you go. I'll pay the difference for the other phone, and I'll take it. Take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
$400? Pay. Listen, bro. I've been an adult long enough. I care more about having my phone paid off.
Yeah.
That's why this phone isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to get the XS Max or whatever. This phone not going anywhere.
The XS Max. I wouldn't even bother with that, man. Like,
I mean, I would like to have the Max. I like the big phones. I like everything, but no. I'm almost done paying this. I gotta just struggle through and pay this phone off. So that's what I'll do. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing the other things, and that's just, yeah.
They also announced Android Q. I'm not sure what the Q stands for. Yeah, what's it's usually a dessert. I don't know any Q.
Oh, that's
desserts.
the new processor.
It's the new OS. The new OS.
What did I say?
Processor. Yeah. It has some cool stuff in it. I mean, they always add some
extra
cool.
I see dark mode on here.
Dark mode is added.
What does that mean?
It's just a switch that enables. It's also enabled when your battery runs low, but it just turns all the skins, I guess, because right now the skin is like white on the OS.
Oh, okay. So it just turns it.
So it turns everything black now.
I wish iPhone had a dark mode, and I wish all my apps
it has inverted mode on the iPhone.
Yeah,
but it's not really dark mode. It just looks weird.
It's not, and I also don't like the fact that every day now it seems like my Twitter keeps resetting out of dark mode. But they got like dark mode for YouTube now.
Yeah,
love that.
I love that.
Love that.
I'm waiting for WhatsApp to hop on that train. WhatsApp's supposed to be next on that.
Yeah, I mean, y'all niggas the only reason I even have WhatsApp. So
that's true.
If y'all could just
get
a dark mode for that, I'd be happy. GroupMe has a dark mode.
Yeah, GroupMe has a dark
Messenger
mode.
Messenger just got a dark mode.
Yeah, I just enabled that last night actually.
Yeah, Gmail needs a dark mode, but you know,
it's just texting on your eyes, man.
It is, man. It doesn't have a dark mode, does it?
Gmail?
Yeah, I
don't think so. I don't think so. If it did, that'd be nice, but
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of shit.
They have one of the features I liked a lot was the live caption for video calls. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
What is it? So explain that.
So like, you know how you would have like you watch a show and you put the caption on the closed caption that show like what the
Mm-hmm.
They have that now for like live video. So you chatting with somebody and live they would be typing out what the person is saying in the video on the bottom of the screen.
That's not gonna go. That's not gonna work well.
I mean, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see.
It's gonna work great. For white Americans.
I'm pretty sure the first iteration. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Anybody that speaks with even a little bit of an accent.
It's not. Yeah. In fact, Google Homes are notoriously bad for people with accents.
Yeah.
Like I know, Crystal recently got her parents Google Home, and it's hilarious hearing her dad trying to say,
"My parents have
hey,
Google."
Hey, Google. Like, they don't understand that. Yeah. They need to hear hey.
Yeah.
It's hilarious trying to hear them.
I mean, my mom is since I walked my mom through the voice recognition part of it.
Yeah.
It picks up her when she's saying "Hey Google" and everything. It knows what she's saying. Like it picks up her and my dad. But when they first tried to do it, they couldn't get it to do shit. They would try to get it to play a song. Couldn't do, it was a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look, Mom, sorry. Like I don't know. I don't know what you guys are gonna have to do. Because you gotta figure
that out.
And I mean, I was like, maybe this just isn't for y'all. I don't know. Maybe it's just not.
I don't know.
I just forgot I can reset up my.
Oh, your Google.
My. Like I can put back up my.
Your smart light bulbs.
My smart light bulbs. I can put up my. My Google Homes. My little minis. Put those back out. Change the lights.
Yeah. Set the mood for the night.
Yeah, I guess something like that.
They also they showed potential for compatibility with foldable phones. Seems like they're going to be pushing their own eventually. It seemed like a prototype that they were displaying, which looks like they're going to go with the outward display rather than the inward.
For the folding phones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how they make like cases for these things.
I'm.
Or you're just gonna have to handle your phone.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
No, somebody is gonna make a case for this. Engineers are working on this tirelessly. I just think they're gonna all look stupid.
This is gonna be like rubberized or some shit, or some kind of.
They're all gonna
silicone
look dumb, bro. They don't see how they're gonna look intelligent.
Yeah. Intelligent.
It's not going to look like a good thing.
Like even when like we had slide up camera, like the keyboard phones.
Those cases look
they look stupid. They did.
All of them look terrible. Like these are going to look the same.
Yeah.
You remember you had to put remember the sidekicks? Niggas had to put the case on the bottom and the top.
And in the top, yeah.
You look like an idiot.
It made the phone look like even bigger.
So when you slide it up,
was.
half of it is just now a random color. Like, it looks dumb on the back. Like, it just come on.
Yeah, they showed that.
Those phones were more durable, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
You didn't really necessarily need a case. You kind of just did it for aesthetic.
Those screens weren't durable, man.
Well, yeah, I give you that. But I was pretty careful. I mean, I don't know. My Samsung Moment was the last sliding phone I had, and that was, like, I was okay with that. Like, I only put a case on there a couple times, and I never had, like, a big issue with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and then lastly, they had all the updates they're adding to Google Lens, which I'd never gotten the opportunity of messing with.
You haven't played with it at all?
At all.
Yeah.
Now they've added the ability to like pay for your bill. You scan it over the bill, and it'll like charge you immediately for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No longer need to give them the waiter your card or nothing like and it'll pay for that.
That's all right.
They also added the ability you can like scan over the menu and it'll show you like what the actual dishes look like.
Nah.
Yeah, they showed an example. They showed an example of that. It was pretty cool. Like it would pull it, like you know how you would look up on Yelp or whatever, and they would show like the reviews, and people would add like pictures of the dishes.
The food, yeah.
So they're pulling from those archives of pictures and stuff, and the reviews that are coming attached with those things.
You know what they should? You know what that's a precursor for?
For what?
They're gonna whatever. What they'll eventually do is they'll have, say they're like chef or whatever, the cooks or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll make a version of the plate essentially, and they'll digitize
the best
that.
way it's supposed to look.
Yeah, they'll digitize that. They'll commercialize it basically.
Yeah,
they'll make the best version of it possible. It'll look perfect.
They'd have to flood the internet with that though, because
no, because technology will shift. Right now, it's looking for that instead of that. Now, and the only one. I mean, this is really for like chain restaurants. You know what I mean, if you're a singular restaurant or whatever, there's nothing wrong with it. You can still do it. Not a problem. But that's probably going to cost a little bit of money. You might waste a little bit of money on it.
Yeah.
But you think about an Applebee's, or something like that, a chain. You get some professional chefs to come in, make these perfect plates that are super commercialized. And when you go into the menu, when you go into Applebee's now,
it pops.
You don't got to ask. I'm just going to show my phone over, and it's going to pop me up a picture, a digital image of whatever this food looks like. It might even pop up the nutritional facts.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Everything about this. Like, what am I going to eat? What's in this? What went into making this? How long did it take you to prepare? Whatever information you want to know, it's all going to be on this little card that you select. And it's for that specific restaurant instead of relying on somebody's, half-eaten plate that they took a picture of and put on the internet. It's fine to do that. It's fine to do that as the initial push, right? Because nobody has to put in any effort.
Yeah.
But eventually, these restaurants are going to want to control their own narrative.
Yeah, I feel you.
So they're going to go, well, why would I let you put your phone up to this and you might find a Yelp review from our same restaurant that's across the country?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want you to know what's going on here, or at least in general, if it's a chain, the best version of what you should be getting. You know what I mean?
I can see how right now that could be frightening for restaurants because, like, the first thing you're going to see when you pull up the pictures are going to be the reviews. And what if you see a photo of somebody who got here on their food or whatever?
I mean, hey. But, and that's what I'm saying. They're going to want to control the narrative.
Yeah.
So, but what they're going to do is it's going to be kind of a double-edged sword because they'll come in and, you know, they'll be like, well, we have these perfect pictures up. But now if my food comes out and I feel like it's not living up to these pictures that you curated now, that you put out here and said, this is what our food should look like.
Yeah.
If it doesn't come out looking like that, then I'm going to have some questions. I'm going to have some complaints, you know, and now all I got to do is put my phone and go, it doesn't look like this.
Yeah.
This is what you said my food looks like. Look at this. This does not look even close to the same.
Close enough memes.
You know what I mean? So they got to be a little more realistic because, you know how, like, you know, they show you like the McChicken, like on the commercial, and you go to actual McDonald's and the McChicken, nothing like that shit. Yeah. They use a shredded lettuce, like shit like that. Yo, I mean, McDonald's is probably the best ones, like the most blatant and unapologetic, because they're like, the commercials are
every now and again I would get a burger where the burger looked like that. I'm like,
you know, I can be getting the double quarter pounders, so I feel like every now and again you might grab one.
Yeah.
But most of them burgers, bro, when they be showing them in the commercial, you be like, oh, okay, and you get it, and you be like, bro, this is nothing. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Oh man,
did the employee see the commercial? Like, what the fuck, bro? That's not even close.
Yeah. It's probably, it also depends on where you get the shit, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, that's interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's definitely interesting. Okay. We haven't talked in detail about Game of Thrones the last 2 episodes. 3 episodes? What are you on? Episode 4? This is episode 5 tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So we haven't talked about the last 2 episodes now. In detail, we didn't talk about them. But, we can, that's kind of our main topic now. So we're gonna do some Game of Thrones and some stuff. Do you want to let people call in for talk about in-game still? Where are we at time?
1:45.
Let's see where we're at after talking about Game of Thrones, and then I'll make a decision.
All right.
Okay. So episode 3 was the long night, right? That's the battle. That's everything, right? We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
We kind of glossed over it. We didn't really talk about it deep, right?
Yeah.
And then this last episode was kind of the regrouping sort of episode, at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the march down at the end. So, episode 3 got a lot of bad reviews.
Yes.
A lot of bad reviews. People were very, very upset with episode 3 for sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't as upset, but I think the reason I wasn't as upset was one, I watched a digital, you know, when you're watching a live version, you know, like on TV, like you have an actual subscription, I think it's different. And if you're watching it live at 9:00 when it actually comes, 9 or 10?
I know it comes on an app at 9, but I think it airs at
No, it comes 10? It comes on the app at the same time. It comes on at 9. It's 9 for sure. Anyways, when you come on the app at 9, or you're streaming it at 9, is you're getting a different version than if you watch it the next day or maybe 2 days later. They'll tweak things because they can easily change things and then re-upload it to the app. You have no idea.
I heard the Starbucks
cup. Starbucks cup got deleted out, so I never saw the Starbucks cup.
I didn't see it either.
I was looking for it.
You know what?
But I watched the episode.
I watched the episode live,
and you didn't see it.
I wasn't looking for it
though. Yeah, you
so
didn't look for it.
Maybe I did see it. I don't know.
And you're not like engaged in like the whole social media stuff, so
I didn't.
Because if I was watching it, I mean, the thing is, like, I got this job at nights and Sunday nights, so I can't watch it at the regular time. So I have to watch it afterwards. And then, you know, you get tired, you come home, you got to go, then I have to go work in the morning. So I didn't watch it the first night. I didn't watch it until that Tuesday, I want to say, after. So, actually, for both these last episodes, I don't think I watched it till Tuesday afterwards. So on both of them, you know, there was, I think, when I watched it, I think some of the scenes were made a little bit lighter. For the long night episode.
Really?
I think so because I don't like, it was dark.
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
People were saying that they couldn't see anything. I didn't agree, but then I heard about the changes.
I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, people said they definitely touched it up after they went back and watched.
Like, there was a moment where I didn't know what they were trying to do with the scene.
And how do you watch the show?
On the TV.
No, okay, but do you guys like cut off all the lights out?
Yeah,
in the house?
I have like a
close the blinds, like
all of that, nothing. It was dark. Okay. I said, "Hey Google, it's movie time." All the lights shut off.
All right, you didn't have to flex on us. That's completely unnecessary. Nobody asked you about that. Nobody said anything. This nigga just hit him with the hardest humble flex he could. Oh yeah, I tell Google it's movie time, and she already know what's popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
I even tell her to say, "Enjoy your movie, Master Berserk." But you know, that's a story for another time, man. This nigga, right. Respect me, Google. Anyway,
the robot overlords are killing Ian first. Wow.
Oh, man. I can't wait till I hook up the Chromecast to the TV so I can get that shit to tell Google to turn on the TV and shit. Anyway. I didn't know what the fuck was going on with the damn with the initial part of the scene. I knew the fucking White Walkers were coming or they were running, but I couldn't see the shit. Or I had a feeling something was happening, and they kept showing the darkness, and I'm like, what's there? And then all they kept doing is panning between the darkness and everybody else looking at the darkness.
Yeah.
Showing the darkness, everybody looking at it.
Yeah, no, nothing was happening there.
And then the Dothrakis go and they running in there, and then you just see their fucking flames dim out.
Yeah.
And you see some of them like dip, like, hey man, it's just crazy. I'm leaving.
And they come back. See, that's when I like that. See, so and that's why like people didn't like certain parts. But I'm like, if you like little things, the Dothraki are fearless.
Yeah.
They don't turn around from shit.
Exactly.
They ran in there and came out like nigga.
Yeah.
Jorah came back like bruh,
no.
Let me tell y'all, this is not it. We were wrong. We should have just.
I think I think the disconnect with that is that we haven't seen the Dothraki do their crazy shit for
in a while. Yeah.
So seeing that, maybe like a recap of that,
so
that we understand, like, oh, these guys are like fearless.
Yeah.
And then have them go in there and then run. There would have been an impact.
Yeah. See that they needed something, and that's so. I thought the whole thing with Cersei.
Yeah.
Was going to come first, and the Night King stuff was going to be the final culmination. Like, we're going to lose a lot of people. That's so for it to be reversed now. I thought a little weird to me.
Yeah, I was hoping. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought Cersei might come around. Like, I know she said no.
I never expected her to come around. I thought they were going to go. Listen, if we attack King's Landing now, we have the advantage. The Night King is all the way up there, right? He's making his way down, but we got no reason to go to him, which is what they did. They went to him and gave him a dragon, essentially. No need to do that. Let's go march down. Let's go fuck Cersei up. We're already aligned. I'm going to help you do that. Let's go fuck Cersei up first while she thinks all we care about is this, right? We just had this whole talk with her. Well, we're going to show up on her doorstep out of nowhere, fuck her whole shit up. We not giving her no cap, bro. We coming in. We taking out all her armies. Anybody that want to still fight, we gonna caught them by surprise, slipping. Take Cersei out.
That would have been smarter.
And then
go back.
And then
with the bigger army.
No. Now everybody come down to King's Landing.
Okay.
Right. We're abandoning the North for now. Sorry, we'll have to get it back. But right now we abandon it. Okay, come on. Now you've got to travel further through more land that we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, granted, they're White Walkers. It's not. They don't have to really know the lay of the land. They're just killing anything that's moving. But the idea, at least to me, is it just creates more, gives you more space, a little more time, and you get Cersei out the way. To me, a lot easier, right? Yeah. That's where I thought it was going to go. And plus, they would give me more time with the Night King stuff. But since we're in this, and people have been given not the Russo brothers, people have been given the showrunners, Wiseman and whatever, I can't remember the guy's name, been giving them, I think it's Wiseman, giving them a hard time saying that they just don't really know what they're doing, and they were really great at adapting the show, but as far as trying to move things along themselves now
that they've deviated from the books, so far it's
there is no book to go off of anymore.
Oh yeah,
right. And I think since we've ended that, which I think was Jon dying, people have basically been saying, because that's also in correlation when they kind of started speeding things up too. That's when like trips to what used to be foreign lands and there was time. Remember at the beginning of Game of Thrones, it might be 2 episodes before they reach somewhere they were going, and there's a bunch of stuff happening along the way. Yeah. Now it's just like, hey, I'm going here, and they just get there, no problems. Yeah. There's no issue. Nothing arises along the route anymore.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm kind of, and I get sure the episodes are a little longer, but not really that much longer than it was.
Not longer enough to justify them being this short.
This short season. And it being the last season, right? It's kind of upsetting.
And see what I'm saying? We would need more episodes and longer episodes. We need more episodes and longer episodes to include something like, let's show Dothraki. So like in my scenario, it's even perfect because you might be able to send a Dothraki in that they don't expect to come out of nowhere.
Trojan horse.
They flood in. Yeah. And now Dothraki, you just saw them being fearless. They're taking on the Golden Army and shit, and they're just wrecking they shit in, and they're fighting, and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, big ass Dothraki takes out the mountain.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, now when they're going north, you're right, they are fearless. We just remember, they just tore up Cersei shit.
Yeah.
Ran her pockets, bro, like it was nothing. Cersei locked up. And now here they are on the front lines waiting for
the White Walkers. And you thinking, yo, they come flaming swords, nigga.
Come on, this is game time. Game time. Yep. Come on, bro.
It's Dothraki. So
we good. We don't even got to send the real warriors, bro. The Dothraki got that, bro.
Exactly.
That's right. They go in there, the flames go out. They come running back. Oh shit. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Now you know that moment impacts you a little bit more. I agree, but just Jorah's face. And I wasn't sure at first when I was first watching. I thought that maybe he had been turned into a White Walker. I thought they had turned like basically all the Dothraki shit into White Walkers and then sent them back. Mm-hmm. So when Jorah came back, I was like, oh shit. So I was looking at his eyes. But then I realized, no, he wasn't. He was just looking at whoever it was. It might have been Tormund. He was looking at another main character.
Oh yeah,
just kind of riding like,
yeah.
This is crazy.
This is shit.
This isn't normal. Like
I don't even realize what's about to go down right now.
Like, bro, we are not prepared for this. We were not. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's only one way to win this fight, and I don't see how we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't even see that way.
That's what he was looking like.
Yeah.
And yeah, so. I did like that scene. I thought Jorah did a good job.
I mean, I still felt the impact. I mean, me watching the show, I know what the Dothrakis were, and I felt that sense of hope that they were trying to give you, that trying to elicit with the fire, and then physically snuffing that out.
Right.
I felt that, so I think they got that point across. Still, I just wish the lighting was better.
Yeah,
that's all. I mean.
Yeah,
I feel like I missed a big half of the fight scene because of the lighting. Like even when they were eventually over with light, it was like really low light. It wasn't like it was just the candle fires with the ones. Yeah. It was no light. You know what I'm saying?
I would say watch it again maybe and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I need to watch it again.
I don't get to watch these episodes live when y'all watch them anymore, and I don't know how quickly they make changes. Like tomorrow night,
changes like that.
Tomorrow night, I'm gonna try to watch it just when I get home.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what changes they make and how quickly they make them, so I really have no idea.
And I'm wondering if the reason, you know what, I think it was by design why they made Arya the one who killed the White Walker, because I think that they didn't, and I think the reason why they made this battle so early in the season is because this was not the big battle.
Well, that's why I don't understand how it's not.
I think Dani said to herself, she's like, yo, this next episode is going to be the biggest episode.
Yeah, I get that, but I get that. I just don't agree that
I don't see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because this is like.
We're back to normal now.
This is like for the kingdom. This is for the realms. It's always been for the realms.
No, I get that.
Like
but
the White Walker fighting. The White Walker fight was like a deviation. This is for mankind. It's for humanity.
Yeah, that's a bigger fight to me, though.
I mean, yeah.
How do you like? Here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. If in reality, right, I never go talk to Cersei. In reality, I go talk to the people and go, listen, this shit, that whole thing they did, that presentation they did for Cersei, trying to get her on their side, all it does is, so Game of Thrones is all about like classism and how there's certain people that don't come from any sort of status and can worm their way into status. So how some people misuse the status that they're born into, how some people use the status they're born into for good. It's all kinds of different characters, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what it shows me is, and this might be diving too deep or whatever, what it shows me is people don't care what poor people think, right? Cersei doesn't care about her people. All she cares about is sitting on the Iron Throne, okay?
Yeah. She literally put her people in danger so that Dany wouldn't just bring her dragons and fuck shit up.
Right. And that way. So she doesn't look the same. If I'm them, Cersei's crazy. I already know that. There's no reasoning with her. There's no talking to her. Only Tyrion is stupid enough to believe that she's doing anything for anybody other than herself, right?
And her children.
Right? So I already just don't believe that much, right? So then I say, okay, let me switch, and if you just go talk to the people of King's Landing and go, this is a White Walker. The Night King can make all of this shit. I can verify all of these stories from you for stories from the Citadel. Here's people from the Citadel that are on our side that can tell you this stuff is of legend, is true. It's coming true. I'm showing you one right here. These things are going to invade and kill all of us. Okay? If we don't stop them, we're all going to die. It's not going to matter who sits anywhere. Once you tell the people that and the people go, well, we still believe our queen. You go, okay, well, guess what? Your queen isn't willing to come fight this. All right? This is happening up here. Then, after all the deaths and everything, all this stuff happens, you bring down another example. Or all those, you tell those people at King's Landing, come to the north. Come look at what this is. Or you do that burial.
Peachy and clean in the I guess the South.
Yeah, of course, in the South, they don't know any better yet.
Yeah.
We never let it reach y'all. We all died up here. It never got to y'all. We protected y'all. The only reason y'all even here is because of us. Imagine that same funeral they had in the North. Imagine they carry those bodies down South and bury them. And then people see, like, what's going on. They come out and they go, these are the people that died keeping y'all alive during this whole fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, the people have no choice but to respect Jon as this war. I mean, he can't win. He can't win for losing, right? He's this war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's fucking. I mean, he is the rightful heir anyway. He's just, I mean, come on, bro. He can ride that dragon.
That nigga Jon Snow remind me of Steph Curry, bro.
Yeah, he can't help.
Last game, this nigga missed more of his threes than anything.
Yeah.
But he still gets the shit.
Of course.
Even though Clay put the fucking team on it.
Don't matter, bro.
Clay's Arya, bro. Clay Arya start, man, because he definitely put that dagger. Anyway.
Yeah, hey, look at it. Don't matter, bro. Sometimes the star's the star. Yeah. And the star, even if the star don't want to be the star, he can't help but be the star.
Yep.
And that's Jon. Jon just can't help but be the star. And
he's literally trying to throw the throne at Dany. Like, hey, man, just take it, please. I don't want this shit.
Doesn't matter. And she even said it's not about what you want.
Even she knows that.
She's like, it's not about what you want. It will just happen.
It will just happen.
It's like you can't tell anybody. If you tell anybody,
before my eyes,
if you tell anybody, you're gonna end up on this fucking throne. And I feel like they haven't given themselves enough time to really explore the fact that Dany and Jon come from two different cultures, which they explored a little bit because what's his name? Not Varys. Varys, the Munich dude.
Oh yeah, he's
Varys, and
he mentions it like, yeah, Tyrion, I mean, Targaryens are used to that, marrying into the family.
She doesn't care.
But Jon Snow, they don't do that. Yeah. They don't do that over here.
They're not used to that. Like, it's gonna, not only is it gonna be weird to everybody else, it's gonna be weird to him. It's weird to him, but it's gonna be weird to everybody he comes from. For him to know, oh yeah, he's married to his aunt on the Iron Throne. You know what I mean? Like, that looks weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have went about things a different way, but I still enjoyed the episode overall. And one thing I did learn was, we were all saying we were upset that Jon didn't that Jon, his whole goal was getting to Bran, and he never made it there. But then I guess because they didn't explain this well in the episode, they didn't show this well in the episode. But apparently the dragon was guarding the garden area. like where they were.
Oh, so he was like.
So Jon was outside of it. He couldn't get there.
Holding off, or he was. Oh, he couldn't even get to.
He couldn't get in because he was hiding from the dragon.
Ah, I see. So
the dragon's literally out there attacking everything and anybody that's trying to get inside, and he won't let him in.
He won't let him in. Okay.
Because he's in there with his people. That makes more sense now.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell that from what it looked like. They had to tell us that afterwards.
Yeah.
Which means they did something wrong.
Yeah.
So they're not perfect.
They could have had a scene where the White Walker, the Night King, and them were walking inside, and then the dragon steps right in front of it
or something. Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again. I don't know. I guess I don't remember. Did we talk about it or not? I think we did say that there weren't enough deaths. I wish more people had died.
Yeah,
I wish more people had died.
And that's why that also lends to my thinking that this next battle is going to be that battle where niggas really do die. Like it's like the precursor when you see Missandei get her head chopped off. Like we're gonna start Xing these niggas off now.
Yeah, but I feel like it's too late now.
Like, I don't know if it's too late because there's still more episodes to go.
No, but I'm saying though, like we just fought because now we're just back to fighting people again.
So it's like,
don't get me wrong, it's fine, but we've seen it before.
Anymore,
we know what fighting people results. We know that people can beat people in battle. Like that it's just people fighting. You had this Night King that is just an inevitability, you know what I mean? That he doesn't even really have they never really showed us too much of his history. He doesn't really have a full history or anything like that, right? But the Night King is just this embodiment of evil for, what we would consider the people of Westeros. All he wants to do is take over and extend this long night. I don't know how this would affect the melanated people of Dorne, since, they just off by themselves. They might not even be bothered. They might be like, white people over there struggling, but we good over here. I don't know. But it just seems like in that moment there was, you're fighting this guy that can literally, anybody you kill is his. You remember, it's like the whole thing with Destiny, like the Scorn. You keep killing Fallen. Go ahead. I'm gonna keep raising them. And it's the same thing. Night King's like, kill whoever you want. Like, fight amongst each other all you want. All you are going to end up being in my army. So Night King's like, you can kill each other if you want to. You can come out here and fight me, no problem. But I've got a shit ton of dead people already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I already got a bunch of dead people to run down on your shit.
But you saw how, like, I wouldn't say anticlimactic, but like the battle was instantaneously over with after taking him out.
Well, yeah, but we knew that was the case, though. They established that when not Jon.
I mean,
was it Jon or Sam?
They went up there and they killed one of the
whenever they killed one of the generals and everybody that died brought up right there.
Yeah,
we knew that was the case. So we knew if you kill the Night King, all the other ones are gone. But and that's why I think some of this falls on the showrunners, because without George R.R. Martin laying things out, you had the potential for a lot of shit. Imagine, and this just comes from playing video games, but imagine there being a couple separate fights where some people are fighting each of the generals that he has. You know what I mean? You got some people that are fighting the cannon fodder, essentially, the foot soldier, dead people that are just running around. Then you got a couple maybe main characters on each of the walkers who are actually fighting now. They don't have a choice but to actually fight. You know what I mean? And maybe maybe their staffs are, resistant to iron glass, to the dragon glass. I mean, so maybe it's a fair fight, but their skin isn't. So if you can get to them, then you do kill them, or you break their arm or something. It's just a lot that they could have done building up to Jon eventually fighting the Night King, which is what everybody wanted to see them actually battle. Yeah, and you don't get to see that.
Yeah, that was disappointing too.
You know what I mean? Like, Jon wanted to smoke. That. He was right there.
Yeah.
And Night King was like, nah, I got to get to this nigga Bran, bro. Sorry, bro. I ain't got time for you.
I can't even entertain you right now.
Yeah.
Like, after I do that, though, we can talk.
We can definitely scrap once I kill your brother. But right now, sorry. I don't know.
See, so they really got to, I'm really riding off of this next episode being bigger than the last battle. But I don't know if it will be.
I've got to see some sort of twist. Something else has to happen that gives somebody a crazy edge that we've never seen before. Because it can't just be a regular battle, but now all of a sudden these niggas that have lived through everything just die.
I mean, they got the arrows that can take out the dragon, and also they freaking kill one of her dragons.
Yeah, so I mean, my thing is like they got the arrows that can take out the dragon, which to me is bullshit too, right? Like, you tell me all you had to do was stick it with an arrow, bro, and they didn't figure that out the first time.
No, but they didn't have those. They first of all they did have a prototype, but it wasn't.
No, I'm saying with the Mad King when he took over and he had the dragons.
Oh, right? they probably didn't have the technology.
Old Targaryens when they had the dragons before Dany got her dragons.
Didn't they hunt all the dragons down?
Yeah, they did that afterwards. After they killed like the Mad King and everything, they hunted down like the last dragon or whatever.
Yeah, we don't know how they killed the dragons.
We don't know what they did to kill the dragon, but that's what it was. But now,
I mean, now they have the technology now. And
well, they said they captured them and they left them locked up and just never fed them and they died or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Because remember when she found the cage where the dragon had been held or whatever.
I can't remember how she got those eggs, honestly.
No. The egg had already been. They already.
She already had.
Yeah, and then once the brother thought he was the one, whatever his name was, but not Visser. Whatever his name was, whatever the one who was like, I'd sell you. You know, her brother. They were like the asshole. I mean, he looked like a dick. I mean, he looked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's like, I'd sell you vagina. Or he's like, I'd sell your virginity for my, for the throne or whatever.
Yeah.
It's odd that she still constantly shows him like she named the dragon after him still. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Aegon. Is it Aegon?
No, it was Viserys, I think.
Visceral. That's the one that recently died.
Yeah. I don't think the dragon's dead.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he's dead.
It went into the water. It got stabbed in the neck and in the torso.
It didn't go but it didn't go into the water.
Yeah, it did. It went they literally showed it go all the way down into the water to make sure you knew this nigga not coming back. He done. He crashed right into the water. He sunk.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, backtrack. I know what I'm thinking of. Everybody was arguing about if there was one or two dragons left after the long night.
Yeah, they definitely.
And I knew that he was still alive.
He was definitely still alive.
Right.
Yeah.
But now after episode 4, which we haven't really touched yet. Okay, so anyways, long night, pretty dark.
Yeah.
I still thought it was a decent episode overall. Wished a couple more main characters had died in that, just because I felt like that was more fantastical. That was more of a
feat.
Without Arya doing her thing, they don't win. They
win.
lose. All of them die. It's not up for debate, right?
Yeah.
That's not debatable. They all die.
Yeah.
So the fact that everybody made it to the most convenient point, with some small people dying. I mean, they didn't even kill Tormund. You know what I mean? Like, Samwell should have been dead. I mean, there's literally a scene where he's like being pulled in by a bunch of them, and I'm like,
yeah,
they're not the people who are like pulling you in and trying to eat you. They're trying to they're just stabbing you with their knives and their swords. So I'm like, why doesn't he have why hasn't he been stabbed yet? They're all over him. He should have been stabbed by now, and he's still alive. You know what I mean? Just a little shit that I'm like, certain people should have been dead and they didn't kill them. That's why I feel like they lost their balls a little bit, which is why I'm a little bit.
So I'm thinking that
worried about what this next big battle is going to be. Like, what can they do that we haven't already seen? Yes, they have a thing to kill the dragons, which we'd already seen. I guess you've not perfected it. There's a fleet that's on the water. We know that too. There, you know what I mean? There's so much already.
I think it's going to be a unity of all the kingdoms, because right now we have only seen the North and Dany's soldiers.
That's everybody.
And a couple of there's some people in the middle, like there's the Tarleys, there's the damn.
Yeah, but those are all
anybody who hasn't gone to the North to help fight. I'm pretty sure a lot of them haven't gone.
No, everybody. We saw that.
Most of the people who are on the
they're aligned one way or the other on Cersei's side. I don't know.
I'm thinking maybe it'll be like, okay, we're all going to align with the North. We're not going to align with Cersei anymore.
I bet that
this is the battle for the realm.
If they can prove to some people what they've done,
yeah,
I fully believe that some people will come around and say, "Hey, we're gonna fight for the North instead," or whatever. We're gonna fight for Queen Daenerys or whatever. That being said, yeah, I don't know. They pissed me off killing Miss Sandy.
And they're gonna be doing that. They're gonna do a little more. I'm pretty sure Grey Worm is next. Grey Worm is next.
I don't think he's gonna die, bro.
I think he is.
I think it's
Arya's gonna die too.
I think it's more interesting to know that he has to live without her.
I think Jaime's gonna catch Nell, and I think
Jaime's gonna die. I don't think Arya's gonna die though.
I think Arya's gonna die. Absolutely.
I think Jon is gonna die.
But
I think Sansa and Arya make it. And
I don't know if Jon's gonna die.
I think he is. I don't think he's gonna make it.
I
think he's going. I think because it's. My thing is, it's
either,
weird.
Either Danny gonna die or John's gonna die.
One of them dies.
One of them dies. They're not gonna
both of them live.
Yeah.
And I think it is interesting. I do think it's interesting that she's the one hyping it up as the biggest one because I think she dies. There's part of me that thinks she dies. There's part of me that thinks they both die. There's a part of me that thinks they both die. There is no Targaryen heir to the throne.
Yeah.
And
it ends up being who?
Sansa.
I guess that's. I don't want it to be Sansa though.
Not really, but I think Sansa with Arya as her right side.
As her right side. Yeah.
But a couple of people, I think they can keep there.
They can. That's a tight ship. I could see that.
I think it's got to end up. They've got to do something so crazy and so unexpected that I get why this was the bigger battle.
See, and in saying that, you can't even think of, let's say, like a theory. Like what I'm thinking is Jon Snow dies, and then we find out who we thought Dany was infertile ends up being pregnant by Jon Snow's kid, and then that kid becomes
ends up being what?
Because they did smash. Dany,
Oh, yeah. It's just not what you said, bro.
What I say?
You was like, she gonna end up being impregnated by Jon Snow's kid, and I was just bro, what?
We thought she was infertile. We find out later on that she's actually pregnant this whole time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, and so you know what, and they could play it off because they even talked about her, like, in the last episode, it's like she kind of had. Similar to the whole thing I'm talking about Callie, like how I feel like you're zoned into conversations. When Dany had that same sort of moment in the last episode where she's like, she hears them kind of praising Jon, and she hears them talking about completely different things over here. She hears them talking about things here, and she's like, I'm not the focus at all.
Yeah.
Like, and then she's listening, and then she keeps tuning into them praising Jon, and you're worthy of a king, and you're fit to be king, and you're this.
Yeah, drinking her Starbucks.
And her you're right. And her knowing in the back of her mind who he really is going, not only is he fit to be king, he should be the fucking king.
Exactly.
And her insecurities are playing up. And I guess they could easily write off and say, well, she was also pregnant too. So she was very hormonal, and that played a part in her, overthinking a lot of things that are going on. Even though Jon keeps telling her, listen, I don't want this. I'm not looking for it at all. It's yours. Like, I'm not going to take it. It doesn't matter what. I'm not going to be the king of shit. You're going to be the queen. You're going to be the best queen. Like, it's not going to be me.
I think she's going to kill Jon Snow.
You think? Nah, I don't think so.
I think so.
No.
You saw how much she was begging him just to keep his mouth shut?
I don't think she.
When she finds out that a lot of people know already.
I don't think she's going to kill him. But if she says a lot of people know and she kills him, she looks even crazier.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that's what they're leading into. I think they're playing into her becoming the Mad Queen.
So I've heard a lot of people say that too. I don't know that I believe that though. And I don't think she would kill Jon. I think she would kill whoever was the person trying to enact a plan to replace her with Jon if she found that out.
So she kills Sansa?
No.
That's the only person I could think of that would actively
no.
pursue a plan.
No. So I think if like Tyrion or somebody is doing something, she'd have him killed. But I don't think that she would go back. Like, it's certain people she can't really kill. Not herself, at least. Now without looking crazy. Not after everything that's happened now. She can't kill Sansa. She can't kill Jon. She can't kill any of the Starks.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. She can't kill them. She could kill Tyrion if she felt like, hey, he betrayed me. Varys, boom. What's the other dude that be with them too? Boom. Kill all of them. Like, they can all die. She can kill anybody on her team if she claims that they betrayed her. I will say, through everything that they lost in that battle, Miss Sandy being captured, I get it as a plot device, but it just felt weird. Like, everything else washed up on shore, but her. They were like, "Oh, we grabbed her." Like,
yeah, that was weird.
You know what I mean?
Like how did they?
She was the only person there too. Like they didn't grab anybody. They're like, oh, she's enough.
And
like
that leads to the whole idea that they just need more episodes, because that would have been a nice thing to see. Oh, maybe she's like in like a cut scene to where she's washed up on a plank or something, trying to find somebody. She's yelling, "Hey, Grey Worm!" And then all of a sudden,
they snatch her up.
Or maybe she sees a boat in the distance. She's swimming towards it. She finds out it's actually the enemy ship.
Something else has to give why she just got captured. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It seemed like everybody else made it to the same island, no problem, and she just the one who floated the wrong way. Like, come on, man.
The current was she just happenstance on the right current that led her right to,
you know what I'm saying?
The enemy
I was so
ships.
happy when she got introduced to the show, man.
Yeah,
as a black chick, she looks good, and she's in the show as a prominent voice.
Yeah, the right hand woman. Yeah, and Grey Worm is
you know, and so to see them together was like, oh, this is perfect. But you knew once Grey Worm was talking about going to the beach and shit, that one of them was going to catch.
One of them was going to catch an L.
One of them was going to.
I thought Grey Worm was going to catch an L.
I thought it was going to be Grey Worm, but Grey Worm got right back inside when they were during the long night. Kurt was like, y'all hold that line though. Right? Like, y'all hold the line. I'm gonna get this. Y'all really hold the line. I'm with. Woo.
I'm back here.
Hey.
Who got y'all back?
Hey.
If anything happened back here, I got y'all, man.
Yo, if they come from this way, if they come from inside, oh God, bro, I'm gonna start slaying them. But right now, y'all hold that line out there.
I can't even get up there, honestly.
The way y'all holding this line so good, I can't even really get to the other side of it. So that's. Y'all doing too good of a job, you know. Y'all keep that up.
Keep me out of the. Hey, let me know what it looked like out. While y'all make it back.
Y'all die. Ooh, you just died right there. That's crazy.
Dude, we were supposed to hang out after this shit. Man. You got to meet me out at the pub.
We had dreams, bro. We had nigga owe me $20. This is bullshit. Hey, I'm gonna come run that nigga pockets after this is over.
What are we doing? Shit. Look what.
No, I'm mourning. I'm mourning. Smooth. This nigga better had my shit. Oh no. Oh no.
I'm mourning.
Them niggas lying about crying over dead people, robbing them. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Man, I'm excited for this next episode, though, man.
I am, man. Well, I'm not. I'm not excited because
I guess I'm worried.
I think you're optimistic.
I'm optimistic. Absolutely.
I'm not excited.
Danny got me hyped, and she might have got a lot of people hyped, and that might be a detriment to the episode, honestly. So this is gonna be the episode of the season.
Like this is the one y'all gonna want to see. Like this is it. All right.
We'll see.
We will see.
I know it's gonna be the battle. It can't help but be the battle.
Yeah. And the crazy, if Cersei hadn't killed Missandei, I'd probably be rooting for her at this point.
Oh, for Cersei.
Yeah. I'd probably just be like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Root for Cersei, but she killed
Missandei. Yeah, you can't even. And I think
rock her, bro.
Yeah,
like Cersei couldn't look at him and be like, "You the only black woman in Westeros. I gotta spare you at least for that."
What pisses me off is I can think of so many ways that they could have gone about that whole part. Like, don't come during the day, come during the night. Swoop in from the top. Those freaking arrow things can't go vertically all the way. They can only go at a certain angle.
They didn't even know there was more of those, right?
That's true.
But I'm okay with all of that, right? Like if you fly in on 2 dragons at night, first of all, what they should have done. This was my theory, right? You do the fight, right? Sansa is telling you, listen, we can't go down there. Like there's no need. What you do is, personally, I would send Tyrion or somebody as a liaison down there and go, listen, we fought that battle, we killed the Night King, the threat is over, y'all didn't come help us,
so we lost a lot of people,
so we are depleted. We can't come here and fight y'all, so if you march north right now, what they could have done is had Tyrion go back, pretend he was whatever, something like that, anything, or they could have came back and said, we lost the dragons. They could have said we lost one of the dragons, had a second dragon swooping around the back. So, like a million other plans. Yeah, a million other plans to be like, this fight that you guys didn't come fight for cost us everything. Yes. Everybody's gone. They could have lied about Daenerys being gone. They could have said Jon has been out here looking for us. So right now they don't even have any leadership. And then the second Cersei shows up, bust on her ass. Like, oh, dragons coming out the sky, nigga. Yeah.
chess move, like
raining down in the stormy night, like easy.
I feel like,
and she would have believed it. She seen the White Walker. She knew it was real.
And honestly, I think that plan was in the works. It could have been in the works, but Dany was so gung-ho about, hey, let's just handle this now. Let's take this bitch out off the throne now. She on my throne, this, that, and the other. And fucking
she knows not even her
Jon
throne.
Snow is caught between her legs.
Yeah.
He can't make a decision for himself.
Yeah.
Still, he's like stuck trying to. I won't even say that. I think he's just really stuck on trying to make sure she knows that he is loyal to her. You know,
he's pussy struck.
He's pussy struck.
He's in love, bro. So,
think he's still in love with her?
Whip, bro.
You think he's still in love with her?
I think he does. I think that's part of his struggle that we're not going to get to see play out because we got these short seasons and stuff. This season could have easily been 2 more seasons. There's got to be a reason they want to cancel it. That's the thing that I'm sneaking to is I think without the book, they were scared of running it too long and losing interest, so they canceled it instead of they went to cancel. And they're rushing all this stuff together to end it when we really have a solid 2 more seasons of material left of this show easily. And there's shows that isn't like All My Children still on? Like, come on, dude. Like, we can't run one of the greatest shows of all time for 2 more seasons.
2 more seasons.
You telling me people wouldn't? To me, HBO lost faith in what those guys had planned, and they were like, "Listen, you got 1 more season. Wrap it up."
You think it was?
I think so. I think when they came to them and they didn't have the books to back them up.
Yes.
They didn't have the popularity of the book. Yeah. They didn't already. The books were already decently popular, right, amongst like more adult readers. Like the same time that I would say like Harry Potter was getting a lot of traction, Game of Thrones was getting the same amount of attraction, but older level. Like we weren't old enough to be reading it at the time. So I would say that they probably have similar level of fan base, at least just from the book reading initially, right? And then now it's grown into this. You've had a lot of people go and read the books now since watching the shows and things like that. So I think people are going, when you had that book backing you up and you were adapting things from that book, you guys are doing amazingly well. You gained your popularity doing it that way.
They couldn't talk to the book writer and be like, hey, you know.
George R. R. Martin seems like he told them, no, like, you guys.
Well, he did say that. You guys have
been adapting my book, no problem. Go ahead. I trust you.
And he even said that the way that the show is going right now, it's really along the lines of the way I was going to write it anyway.
Right, which again, no problem, except for the fact that there's so much left out of it. We haven't even explored half of like the magic that's in these, that's in this world, really, that's in the books, things like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if there was magic and things like that regular people had, that was just more like known and access in the world, I'd be like, you know what? Okay. But because they're going so fast now and they're trying so hard to reach this point, it feels like it just feels rushed. It feels forced, and I genuinely believe that they didn't know what they were doing. And as they were pitching the season to HBO went,
this is not gonna last.
Y'all don't know what the fuck. Y'all are gonna lose these fans. Y'all are gonna. And Charlemagne been saying it for a while. He said it again on Brilliant. I know you don't been listening to Brilliant Days, but he was like, it's hard to close when you're a TV show that's this good. It's hard to close.
Yeah, he said the only time he's ever seen a satisfying close was Endgame.
Yeah. Endgame is one of the only satisfying closes. I think there are other ones that aren't bad, but you're generally pretty upset. I think you've heard me say is the greatest comic book trilogy of all time, Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, Dark Knight Rises isn't a perfect close. It's not a perfect close. Like it's good. I enjoyed it, but it's not perfect by any means. Christopher Nolan did a great job. It's definitely not a perfect close, quote unquote. And I just don't know, man. I'm thinking to myself, I don't think these are. I don't think this is a good close either. I think it's too short. I think there's so many small little questions that we could come up with every step of the way.
I definitely feel like we're gonna be disappointed with the close.
Yep.
But I hope it's for the right reason. Like, I hope somebody that we like died, and that makes us like, oh, I wish they'd survived type of close. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe Cersei wins.
But that almost seems like, because people are so upset with how things are being going, people seem to want Cersei to win now. Like, there seems to be a good amount of people that are on like Cersei's Cersei's side.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Just from, I mean, like Andrew Schultz is really big on it, and so like from his pages, I've seen a lot of people
say, "Oh, I want Cersei to win."
People that are like Cersei Hive, and people are really into seeing Cersei win now.
There's a degree of order with Cersei as a leader. I could see the
not argument. Really. It's just fear.
That's fear's order.
She's ruling with an iron fist. She's not ruling it, but she's not ruling with. I mean, she's willing to let all of you die if it means she gets to keep what she has.
I
don't know. That's
skinny cat, man. That seems to be the best way right now.
Nah. I'd give anybody another chance if we had a shot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to see how episode 5 goes.
Yeah,
I am very curious to see how episode 5 goes. I want to see how this goes tomorrow. Because I think tomorrow makes or breaks
the show.
Either it's going to be a legendary show forever that people are going to go, this was the most amazing show. This is one of the most amazing shows ever. Or it's going to be, this show was amazing until the last season, and then
I'm hoping that I come out of there saying, yo, we thought that the Night King battle was dope. This one was actually more intense.
The only twist in here that I could see that would get me going crazy is if somehow the Night King was still alive.
Oh, no.
That's the only way. If they could somehow explain that, man. And they get down there and the Night King is like standing with Cersei or some wild shit. Plot twist. Something crazy. I'd be like, oh, what?
Plot twist. Cersei got dragons. That'd be intense.
Or they get there, Cersei got lions.
Oh, like huge, big-ass lions.
I don't know.
That'd be...
and that's my thing too. Is like, does every house just like get their thing? Like, because like,
I know the
did
Starks.
Baelish just like does he just magically get mockingbirds now or something? Like, I don't know, like what or whatever that little bird pin he had on was. Like, Varys has his little house sigil. I can't remember what that his was. You know, but like the Starks had the direwolves and the Targaryens have the dragons. Like, did the Lannisters get the lions? They probably got. I guess the Greyjoys do kind of have like the sea. But I don't know what
octopus kraken.
Yeah, they got the little kraken thing on theirs. Do they have like a kraken they control? You know what I mean? Like, I haven't read the books. And I wonder if in the books that's more leaned into. I bet you that probably has something to do with it. I bet you in the books it's a little more leaned into with stuff like that. Because in the show we've just got like. They didn't really do a great job of decide. I guess maybe that might have been at the interim whether they were going to decide if they're going to lean all into like the kind of why these families are kind of more important than the other ones, why they have this power, which would, normally leads to some sort of magical ability or some sort of birth-given ability or right. Yeah. And yeah, if you have the power to warg into or control an animal, that probably puts you above everybody else.
Maybe the Greyjoy daughter plays a flute that calls the Kraken out and they win the sea battle.
If there's some old Greyjoy ritual that he don't know about.
Yeah.
Or he just never believed in. And she believes in it and she... Yeah, who knows? My thing is, we don't know.
Yeah,
and it'd be kind of weird to come back to it now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in between on it. I'm very curious to see how this goes, and I think we're gonna be back here. I'm gonna be back here next week, either very pissed off or
disappointed
or surprised.
Oh, surprised. Okay.
I'm gonna be pissed off or surprised, and surprised doesn't mean good. It just means surprised.
It could be. I'm surprised the shit was that bad.
Yeah, I could be. I could be surprised at how bad they handle it. I could be surprised. I'm just gonna be furious, and I might not even want to watch the last episode. I have free trialed my way through this entire season so far, and I haven't had any episodes. Well, till. The Long Night kind of got spoiled because all the Arya memes. Like, I saw all the Arya goat shits, and I was like,
"Oh shit, Arya
she must be something. She must come through." Yeah. But and once you watch the episode, it reached a point where I was like, "Well, the only thing Arya can do at this point that would make her relevant for these memes is killing the Night King." So I was like, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but she's gonna kill the Night King. Like, that has to be it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really ruined for me. Like, I was fine with it.
That was a solid surprise.
And then Miss Sandy,
like this nigga Ian's jaw was dropped. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Like,
and Miss Sandy got ruined for me a little bit, but I misinterpreted it. So I saw that meme that was like, I can't believe Grey Worm isn't going to date Miss Sandy anymore just because she's missing a part of her.
Oh, that should have me dying at work.
So when I saw it, I was like, they gonna hurt Miss Sandy? They gonna torture Miss Sandy? What? Oh no. Like that was what I was thinking. Yeah. Like, they gonna try to chop her arm off or some shit. Nah, straight gang shit. Chop the head right off.
And now the meme is even funny.
Yeah, and I was like, y'all niggas. Damn, y'all are ruthless. Y'all don't give a fuck. Like, chopped her head smooth off. Like, yeah, y'all don't give two fucks, huh? So, yeah, that definitely, that took me out of it, too, for sure. But
I'm kind of disappointed they didn't show her head show her being, her head being chopped off.
Yeah, they kind of turned away, and then they had Grey Worm.
We've seen people get their throats slit. Yeah. Main characters' heads, we've seen him get beheaded.
So people are saying, like, the story now is soft. More main. They're getting soft. Well, it's not that they're getting soft. They were following a formula, and now that formula hasn't worked. It doesn't work for the end. That formula is able to calculate everything up until here, and now in everything that they've done, they're saying the show. I mean, they're saying if you compare the last 2 seasons to the first 6.
Yeah, I heard that season 7 is where it died.
Season 7 is where you start seeing the decline. It's where they start taking some of these trips super fast. Remember, they went from like Dragonstone to like Winterfell or something like that. Whatever. John did that. He was there in like 30 seconds. Where it was like no time. He was just like, we're down here and we're back, and that was all one episode.
Yeah,
and it was like in season 2. That's 3 episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2 of those episodes is him on the way. He's getting stopped by a million different things. There's a million other plot points getting answered and happening along the way. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of people were turned off to how drawn out the earlier seasons were. So I can see why they may have tried to speed things up.
Yeah, except for the fact that was initially. Everybody talks about the Red Wedding, right? Like, so most people watch up until there. Once you see the Red Wedding, you're locked in. You're watching. Yeah. Like, I firmly believe that if you can watch show up to the Red Wedding, you are locked in. By the time you reach there, you have a better knowledge of the houses, at least who the main ones are. Mm-hmm. You know a couple of the side ones. You know, even if you don't know any of the houses, you've got the main characters kind of locked in. Okay, you're a main. Okay, your last name is Stark. Okay, you're a main character to some degree. Like, there's something about you. You know what I mean? Like, all this kind of shit, right? So it's like, you figured it out, and now you're getting to see like ain't no mercy for anybody out here. I mean, you got to see that a little bit with Ned, but okay, maybe that was just a plot device to really get the story going. Nah, bro, anybody can really get it.
His whole family getting it too.
You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. This nigga family has got a death wish, bro. Like, we killing their brothers, we killing their sisters, we killing their mamas, we killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, They got it to the point where I was like, bro, I don't think Stark's gonna make it through the show, though. That's what I was like. Start counting your fingers. How many of these niggas left? I don't think they gonna make it, bro. Like
4, my nigga.
I was like, man, John's not even really a Stark. I don't know.
Not even really a Stark either.
I started counting. I'm like, I don't know. He a bastard, but obviously before we confirm anything. But it's just like, I just look at it and I'm just like, they have clearly gotten soft. Like, you know what I mean? Season 7 is a weird time to be like, hey, we're just going to kind of kick it in high gear. Or that's cool. Like, if you're going to do that, no problem. But fit everything in there, 8 episodes. Like, normally this is where shows go in reverse. They switch to 10 episodes. But it's not as much filler, but they just need to fit the story in. So it's 10 episodes, and maybe things do go faster. Maybe I don't spend 2 episodes on you getting from one location to the next, but I fill that time in with other narrative stuff that needs to keep going as well. They could have done that, man. I'm faintly disappointed. This is just what I'll say. I'm faintly disappointed in it. I don't know what to take from it, and I am going to be very interested. Is the easiest word. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens going forward with this next episode. I think, I don't know. I mean, if it's that crazy, maybe we'll have to do some sort of like, special episode, but I don't think it's gonna be that great. I just don't think it will be. I just don't see what could happen in this episode that's gonna make me feel like, oh, we gotta put this out today. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. I can't see it because to me we're back to people fighting. So
yeah, okay, yeah, it's a bit redundant.
Right, it feels like we've done this already.
Yeah, we
know what big battles are.
Now we're fighting human beings.
We're fighting human beings.
Kind of stale.
You got
now.
A dragon. Okay.
So it depends on how they do it, I guess.
Yeah. So we got to see how it's done, and it better be done really well.
It has to be done different.
I think Danny's gonna die though. The way she's talking about it, I think she's gonna die.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna die. I think John and Danny are both gonna end up dead anyway.
It's the only
but
thing,
I think she's gonna die.
The only thing I could think of that'll make this battle as impactful as the last one is if one of those guys die. Mm-hmm. One of the top guys die.
Gotta be a big boy.
It has to be
a big boy.
Yeah.
It can't be. Yeah. It can't be Brienne of Tarth. I don't care if she dies.
Yeah. It has to be.
Can we talk about her too? Did they not like pussify her character? That's not a bad word. Did they not like just weaken her character?
Yeah, definitely. She's definitely feminized now.
Why?
No disrespect to any.
No, I don't think that's. I think it's disrespectful what they're doing to her.
Yeah,
she's this fierce warrior, and now she's bitching over a nigga who fucks his sister.
Does she know that?
Yes, everyone knows it now.
Oh, okay.
Everybody knows that. And remember, didn't somebody say it in front of Jamie when he was making his case or something like that? I'd have to watch that episode again. But when he first came back to Winterfell and he was making his case, somebody said that. And now she out here crying in a robe about fucking...
He took her virginity, man.
Bro, she's crying in a robe about a nigga that didn't just fuck his twin sister, also had multiple children. Let's talk about this as well. That's kind of fucked up. Never mind. That's a bad joke. It's a bad joke. I was going to say, this got to be like a white hillbilly's dream.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For Jamie and Cersei, because they had 3 kids and none of them had any like defects. They're not only their twin brother and sister.
Yeah,
that should be like the ultimate cause for defects.
Yeah,
and if you procreate, and the kids had no defects. They were like pretty conventionally attractive kids, and they're like all fine.
Speaking of which, did you know that one of the sons was in Dark Knight?
One of the sons.
The crazy one, the
Joffrey?
Joffrey. He was in Dark Knight, man. He was
he was in Dark Knight?
Yeah, he was in I watched Dark Knight the other day and I saw him there. I was like, why does this kid look familiar? And Chris was like, yo, that's Joffrey. I was like, what? He's like a little kid. He was like Batman saved him or some shit.
Oh shit! I don't remember that at all.
I was like, "What the fuck, bro? This is Joffrey. He been in this bitch. He been out here."
That's crazy. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm interested, but I'm not. I don't have expectations.
Trying to temper him. Try not to be disappointed. You don't want to be disappointed.
I don't think I can be disappointed. I'm already disappointed.
Oh, you're already there. You don't want to be You want to be able to enjoy the episode. At the very least.
I just want these last 2 episodes to be decent enough for us to get.
Are we in the last 2?
Aren't we? It's only 6 episodes this season, right? Pretty sure.
So then this is not the last episode.
No, episode 5 and 6. 6 should be the last episode.
Then we're in trouble. I cannot wait to see how they fuck up this closure. That's why I really believe that
yeah, there's 6 episodes. So episode 5 is going to be 80 minutes.
Because they have a tendency of
80 minutes.
Well, if they stick to the formula they've been sticking with, they have a tendency of like closing it in a happy way, but then there being like a trailing negative to the ending. Like right. So, Jon Snow dies and Dany wins.
Yeah.
But you see her like on the low, slowly becoming like the way she won.
Right.
It's distasteful. Like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth the way it ends. That's the only way. I mean, I
agree.
And then maybe they end the season with you finding out that there are like the mother of the dragons actually gave birth to like 3 more dragons.
I mean,
yeah, she just popped out 3 more eggs, and then they ended with one of the eggs cracking open, and then the show is over. That's how I imagine.
I mean, they've got to leave it with something. I don't think the dragons come out like that. I don't think they do. At least I don't remember. But
dragon eggs.
Or maybe they do. I think she's not supposed to be able to get pregnant. I think is what it's supposed to be.
I'm talking about the red dragon, the last dragon that's alive.
Oh, like pops out a dragon.
Pops out some some baby dragons.
Oh. I don't know.
Because we just lost 3. That's the only way I could see that they lost 3. We lost 2 dragons. I have a feeling they're going to do that. They're going to give us baby dragons at the end. Like, oh, the baby dragons aren't completely eradicated.
Well, I mean, they thought the dragons were gone forever after the Mad King, and then Daenerys had one. So as long as I think as long as the Targaryen name exists, dragons exist. So, I don't know. They have to show that necessarily. I think it's more important to show who's on the throne, and then maybe
they're going to show
some sort of future into how they've improved it or how it's changed or how it's gotten better. You know what I mean? Like, it could be that Cersei's terrible or whatever. I think what may happen is they're going to end this and do something that leads into the sequel show or the prequel show that they're going to do.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do something like that. So where it's like Bran like wargs back and he like. So I'm kind of stealing this a little bit from somebody. But it's edited a little bit from what they said. But what I kind of think happens is Bran looks at everything and goes, almost similar to like Doctor Strange, right? Where he's like, oh, this isn't like the best one, right? So there's like, because I doubt we're going to go any more into Bran now. I don't see what the purpose of him
That's what I'm saying. Like,
is anymore.
Yeah.
And so I think at the end, we're going to see Bran like talking to some people or maybe wandering around the Citadel in his chair or something like that. Like he's going to, or reading something, some sort of text. And he's looking at the world the way it is. And he goes, this, like, I still fucked it up or something. And so he rewinds back to when he was Bran the Builder or a previous iteration of himself, of the Three-Eyed Raven. And he wargs back to that person and changes something. And then he has to see how it works out again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe that's it. And then we warg back to the time where he changes something and something like that maybe. I don't know. And then maybe there's a show, there's a parallel a timeline where things happen differently. I don't know. Anything, you know what I mean? Like maybe he goes back and stops Jon from ever being born, or which means Ned doesn't have any shame and he doesn't have to worry about anything like that. You know what I mean? Like there's a million different ways I guess it could go. I don't know. But yeah. Maybe Ned doesn't get killed or something. I don't know. I'm just very interested to see maybe how this goes. And I want there to be some sort of crazy, fantastical.
So I was about to say, so you want this to be, you want it to be fantastical.
I think I do. Like, I love the politics side of it. My thing is, I feel like the politics could have been handled before. That, like, once you introduce a fantastical element, that thing kind of overreigns everything
trumps
else.
Everything else.
You know what I mean? Like, because if they had all this stuff, this contraptions you have would have been great when we were fighting the Night King.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
With the aim you got, nigga, you were able to take out a dragon that's flying. That aim,
come on,
could have used that.
And my thing is, I got a problem with that too. And we've been straggling on too long with this, but like, I got a problem with the fact that Euron Greyjoy, even though we've never shown us anything, all of a sudden is able to shoot and hit a dragon, a moving dragon like that. Seems a little bit, not saying that he's bad or anything or that he doesn't have the ability. It just doesn't seem realistic that he did that. But what do I know?
It wasn't even just him. It was a couple of his guys.
And it was a couple dudes
like
who just. What were they practicing to emulate a flying dragon that they were doing shooting practice with?
See, that's another thing that
I'm just saying, like, okay, I get it that they improved on the design that they had before. Makes sense. What did they practice shooting a dragon with? They should have still missed a couple. They missed like 1, 2, and then like 8 hit him in the chest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I didn't understand. And then yeah. Some people are saying they didn't get why Jon wasn't flying the dragon. I think that was because he was injured and
he
felt like he couldn't hang on well.
Yeah, he even mentioned that in the episode. He said that. Yeah,
I thought he said he was too heavy or something like that.
No,
he's injured.
He said. So now he's recovering from the battle because what's his name was like, I thought you would be riding in on the dragon. He's like, nah, that dragon's still recovering.
See how much more interesting that would be if Jon had been on that dragon and it gets hit and now Jon's lost in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
But you don't have time to do all that. You got 2 episodes left. They're both the exact same distance. I think this episode's going to end in the middle of the battle, though. I think there's going to be a lot more politics leading up to the beginning of the battle.
And the battle's going to start towards the end. And then
I think you're going to end with Dany having to make a tough choice between hurting the people and getting the throne that she wants, or trying to find a way to circumvent what Cersei's trying to put out there. And so I think it's going to end like mid-battle, with her either deciding, fuck it, I'm going to burn these people. I don't give a shit. Fuck them. They're on the other side anyway. I've tried talking to them. I tried reasoning with them. They saw me try to talk to Cersei. They didn't want to hear it. So fuck everybody. I'm burning the whole shit down and I'll just rule whoever's left. The people living in King's Landing, all they respond to is fear anyway. So fuck them.
They can come around back with the
and the people that live up north already know who I am, right?
They can sneak some soldiers in, force people into hiding, and then bring the dragons in. And then Cersei thinks, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing this." But then she looks back and sees that nobody's out in the Citadel. It's just her, and then she gets burned alive. Dracarys.
Maybe, but you think doing something like that, so where so they basically evacuate the people first.
Yeah. They sneak in, maybe almost basically having them prisoner, but they're really just doing it for their own good because...
Yeah, we're going to come in here and we're going to burn all your shit down. Yeah, all your possessions, gone. That thing your kid drew, fucked. Yeah. No, I agree. That's definitely a way they can do it. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see... I can't say it enough. People aren't going to hear this until after the episode comes out, so we're either going to they're going to be like, yeah, shut the fuck up, or they're going to be like, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe we can switch up how we're doing it.
I'm saying it's hard to keep up because, I don't know, it depends on when because even when you do it now, you're still going to be behind. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is too. Also, the parts of this episode too. No, I mean, I think maybe after this episode, maybe we just need to figure out what we can do to get our uploads up within a day or two, instead of we record on Saturdays. Maybe we need to switch our days to Sunday or Mondays instead of trying to get up on. Because I post on the Thursdays. I normally post Wednesday or Thursday normally. And this last week was Friday because I had to pay for the subscription. I thought I had more. They gave me a free trial. I thought I had more time. And then they were like, hey, free trial ended. I was like, oh. So I got to wait till I get paid then. So, I had to wait. So I just waited and then Friday I uploaded it. But, generally we try to upload on a Wednesday. I don't know. Yeah, trying to get these up faster so the news is a little more relevant to when it's coming up. But it's not nothing we can necessarily do about it right now. You know what I mean? I guess unless I just put them up in quick succession. I don't know. But when we're doing stuff like this, like Game of Thrones, we kind of got to put it up not too far after. You know what I mean? Because even when 6 comes out, even episode 5 is going to come out tomorrow, but we're not going to talk about it till next week Saturday, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, I guess, if we were going to put it up Sunday morning, so at least people could hear some of it before. But I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care that much. It's whatever. We're not it's not like we're Game of Thrones. We read all the books. We know everything that should happen or what we, you know what I mean? We're just whatever. I think you come here and talking about Game of Thrones is just an add-on to what we kind of do. It's whatever. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. If you want to skip it because you already know what happened, no problem. But if you just want to hear what we thought about the episodes, then cool. You know what I mean? Only thing, I guess things I care more about getting out quicker are like the movies, things like that. I care more about getting that out faster. That's just me. Anyways, I'm rambling for a little bit, so I don't know, whatever. Hopefully we get Draw back next week. Anything else going on to talk about? Not really. Not really, man. As hopefully people are seeing, I'm putting more focus onto the Two Ugly Nerds page. It's actually the only page I got right now. I wish I could run the Two Ugly Nerds Facebook page without having to be on my own Facebook page, because I would drop my Facebook too, but I can't do that. But yeah, man, y'all go ahead and hop on the page, follow the page, hop on the website, Pippa.io. What's on the Instagram page. Share it with people if they don't have a podcast app that they listen to. Share that with people. What else? If you can like, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, that'd be dope. We're getting a decent amount of people that listen every episode without us like posting anything. It's not bad. For people that, we don't know anything about marketing or promo, like, at all. You know what I mean? It's not like there's like some knowledge that we have like held up. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Trying to think. Is there anything else? Anything else I can think of? Nothing really. But nothing. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything that I wanted to say today. And I thought I had something else to say today, and I guess I didn't. But regardless, I always appreciate you guys for listening. I don't know who we'll get on next week. I don't have I want to bring somebody on. I didn't know it was Mental Health Month this month. I didn't realize that. So I might try to bring somebody on, a black-owned business person, to come on and maybe talk about mental health and what they've, why they've surrounded a business around mental health and trying to encourage people through it, or